Round one. Fight!
Hey guys, welcome to the Movie Hero Network. This is Two Ranker Fights. I threw in that little surprise. I made a little football logo for the channel because obviously we're going to be talking about the best football movies of all time. So and we have a stacked panel, so I'll just go ahead and introduce them to you. I'll bring out one of my co-hosts for the night first. We'll bring in Austin Pez Howell. How's it going?
What's up, man? Grabbing that pigskin, ready to hit the gridiron and take it to the house, man. Let's do this.
Yeah, let's do it. All right, then we'll bring up our other co-hosts for the night. Bring up Chris Scott.
What's up, guys? It's been a while. I'm repping my Green Bay Packers. Go Pat and go, nice. Baby. We're gonna crush the Saints on Sunday.
Nice. Yeah, and then we have a couple returning guests from our last sports series, our best baseball movies. So we'll throw it over to Moose Haas. How's it going?
Hey guys, thanks for having me back. It'll be fun to have some beers and talk some football movies.
Yeah.
The best time of the year.
Absolutely.
Absolutely, yeah. And also we have Ross Bristow joining us.
Hey guys, actually, like football's my number one sport. And then I know these random obscure facts about football that'll like shock you guys. Like one of the executives at Five Guys, burgers and fries, is actually the only kicker to ever win the NFL MVP award.
Interesting.
Okay.
Very cool.
In 1982, the strike shortened year.
Oh yeah. But yeah, so to get us started, I'm going to bring up a couple rules to kind of keep a little order.
To get us started, we're all gonna have a toast, and we're gonna have a drink, and we're gonna toast to football,
toast it up,
football.
Oh yeah,
cheers!
Best time of the
year. All right,
yeah. Amen.
Right. Now you can go to the rules, Jordan.
All right, awesome. Sounds good. So the rules are as follows: let's have a good, clean fight. Please do not talk or shout over each other. Please do be respectful of others' opinion. Each person will take turns to select the movie for ranking. The person who selected the movie will have 1 minute to explain which tier they think it should go in and why. All other participants will then each have 1 minute to say why they agree or disagree, and let me suggest a new ranking. The host, which is me, will decide on a ranking that averages out everyone's opinion and asks if the proposed ranking is acceptable. At that point, we can have a little small debate as to where the final placement should go. So, but yeah, that's pretty much how it's going to work. So.
But everybody here tonight knows Tier Ranker Fights. Ross and Moose, you guys were on the baseball episode. You guys know how it goes. So everybody here knows what's up. So what do you say we just kind of jump right into it and bring up the Tier Ranker chart? Jordan?
Yeah. All right.
You got 50 movies to choose from. And all the big ones are represented.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All the best of the best here. All right. So basically for anybody watching, basically how it works is is we have the tier ranker chart here. So you have S for superior, then you have A, B, C, D, so on and so forth. There might be a case for maybe one or two movies that's maybe not a football movie necessarily, and then if there's any that we all haven't seen, we can throw it there as well. And then also one other thing to note is that we only allow 10 movies in the S tier. So by the end of it, we want to have 10 movies there. We're going to have 3 honorable mentions in the A tier, but basically any other tier can have as many as we want to have in there. So, so yeah. All right. So, and then as the host, I always like to go last. So you start as at the bottom of the ladder as it appears on the screen. So Ross, you will be up first to choose. That's the benefit of being introduced last. You get to go first. So these are all the movies. I put a list of all the movies in the private chat. So if you need a little list, because I know some of these are a little hard to see sometimes, but you can just go ahead and you can pick one and give it a ranking.
Okay. I'm going to go with the first S tier in my movie, and that is The Express.
All right. The Express. All right. So what do you say S tier?
Okay, it's because it's a moving story. So do you guys know the story of Ernie Davis, right?
Well, I'm sure if we saw the movie, we would know the story.
No, okay.
Yeah.
He was basically like this guy who was drafted by the Browns, who never played for them. It's because he died of cancer at the age of 27. So now it's a heartfelt movie.
Spoiler alert.
It's a story,
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, but then now it has Dennis Quaid as the crotchety coach, and then you also have it's just this uplifting story about this kid who now came from nothing in the racism, and it's just a heartwarming good movie. And I remember I saw it twice in theaters back to back, and I never hardly ever do that. So yeah, so S.
Nice. Well, Moose, what do you think of The Express?
I don't disagree with Ross. It's a good movie. This movie kind of came and went in theaters. It didn't really do as well as I thought it might. But I know the story of Ernie Davis, and you're right. It's a good movie. And, Dennis Quaid was a good head coach. I mean, I don't know if this is a superior movie. I think I might give this one an A. It's not a bad movie, and I enjoyed it. And I agree. I left feeling emotional and feeling, inspired by the movie itself. So I'll give it an A.
Yeah. Chris, what do you think? For the
I can't really comment because I haven't seen it. So
okay. well, fair enough. Austin, what do you think?
I kind of have to agree with Moose on here. I do think it's very good. I think it belongs kind of in a mid-level A tier, only because it's a biopic, and it's one of those biopics that kind of just falls into a lot of the cookie cutter biopic sort of formulas, where it's just he's overcoming this and he's overcoming that, and the cast is very good. So I mean, it's better than most of them that you will see in this category, and probably other ones that were even in this list. But I would probably go more of a mid-A than go full-on with the S tier. I think there's some better football movies on the list that we'll be arguing for later.
Yeah, and for me, this is one that I haven't seen. It's one of my blind spots, so it's definitely one that I want to check out, but I gotta refrain. But we got 3 votes, so that's enough to rank it. So.
An S and 2A, so I think it drops on an A for right now, but we'll see what happens as we move along the show. So
yeah. Mm-hmm. All right, well, Moose, you're up next. So you got one you want to pick?
Yes. So I'm going to pick my favorite football movie on this list, and that's The Replacements.
All right.
I'm going to give The Replacements an S, and here's why. One, it is a true second chance underdog story, right? And everybody loves not only just a second chance underdog story, but if you have ever competed in anything in your life, whether it be trivia or whether it be sports, you have always wanted a second chance at that. And The Replacement gives you that. Then my second main point on this is I have 3. The second one is, 1, look at the cast. Keanu Reeves, Gene Hackman, Brooke Langdon, Orlando Jones is Clifford Jones, the wide receiver he can't catch, right? They got to put Stickum on his hands, right? There's so many like fun little deep cut football like innuendos in this movie. They do an onside kick in this movie, right? They recover their own onside kick, and the linebacker played by John Favreau won't go down. And the quarterback has to play it. It deals with like the strikes that happened in the 80s with football, but also this was in the 2000s. So this was kind of following those like baseball strikes and was kind of making, poking a little bit of fun at, these rich, whiny babies who want more money. And then, the average Joes that want to just simply get another chance. And then this will be my final point. There is a line in the movie where Gene Hackman has to break it to the entirety of the team, and they're on the verge of making the playoffs, that tomorrow the strike ends and they're all going to be out of a job. And he just tells him, he goes, tomorrow you're out of a job. You're all very dangerous men tonight. And anytime I see that, it gets me fired up. So I will place the replacements at an S tier.
Yeah. Chris, what do you think?
So I remember seeing this movie and I remember loving it. I don't think I was as detailed like did you remember? And I don't think I necessarily got all the references, but it's awesome. You brought all those things up. But absolutely, it's an incredible cast, though. Such a damn good movie, and I've definitely been there, where maybe you don't get picked for the team because you're not the athletic great player that everyone else is. Oh, yeah. So absolutely S tier.
Yeah. Austin, what do you think?
Replacements is fun. Do I put it up there as one of the great football movies of all time? Not really. Only because I think I kind of forget this movie exists a lot of the times. And when I went back to rewatch it this past week, like I had a good time. It was fun. But I mean, I think that formula of like this group of ragtags has been done better in other movies. And I do agree that the cast is good. I mean, Gene Hackman makes a great old-timey coach. Like Keanu Reeves is fun, and this is sort of when Keanu was getting kind of lost in the shuffle, kind of around 2000. I know The Matrix had just come out, but he was still kind of, ups and downs on his career. But it's good. It's entertaining. I don't consider it like a super classic. I would go like a B+.
All right. For me, I would definitely give it an S tier. Like I love the replacement. And it's so many like awesome quotable lines. Like Rise to Eifrin, when he says like I'm wider than you, and like you can just like smash those kicks, and or like when the big Asian dude he walks out and like Gene Hackman's like that is one big mammoth jam or whatever. So yeah, like there's some pretty fun lines, and like I have a good time with it. Like even from them like dancing around in the locker room, even though it's a little cheesy, like I kind of liked it. Like I had a good time, and like just seeing the way that they did the whole strike with the replacement player. I thought that it's a really unique movie that you don't really see anywhere else. So yeah, I'm
except for basketball 2 years before. But okay, yeah, it's completely original. I'm just pointing it out. That's all I'm saying.
That's totally different. That's a totally different sport. Come on.
It's the same concept, dude. They go on strike. Even Married with Children did the storyline where Al Bundy got his boys together and they created their own league because they went on strike. It's like the same story. Yeah. It's not original, bro. I mean, look, I understand if you like it, but it's not original for me. Original.
So
all right,
but right. But Ross, what do you think?
Low A, high S. I don't love this movie as much as others, but I do love Rhesus Ifans as the kicker. And then, dude, you know what would have like set this movie over to the top of S? Is it like they were going to make one small detail? Is it they named Keanu Reeves' character Johnny Utah? That would have been amazing. But still, I do like this movie. It is really funny. And then actually, Gene Hackman was actually like based on one of the greatest head coaches of all time, too.
Yep.
Yeah.
No Gibbs.
Yep.
Yeah, but still, but like
exactly.
low S to like high A.
Yeah. Well, I think with that it stays in the S tier. I think so. We got enough.
Yeah,
S's
it'll
to-
stay in the S tier.
Yeah.
We'll see where it ends up. It may end up in more of a mid-lower S tier, but we'll see what happens as the show go along. But I've got the scores here.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. So up next is
Chris
Chris.
is up next.
You want to pick one?
Okay.
What do you?
Trying
What
to
do you
think because
got?
there's
Yeah,
so
hold it.
many movies that okay, I gotta go with Little Giants.
Yeah.
I love this movie so much. I remember watching it probably easily like 25, 30 times as a kid, and I've since watched it, and it's so good. Absolutely at the top of S tier.
Cool.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, Austin, what do you think about
All right.
Little Giants?
Look, I grew up with Little Giants just like every other '90s kid out there. Okay. Let's not pretend like it's the greatest Mighty Ducks story or kids ragtag kids story that's ever been put to screen. Okay, like we got to be a little more realistic about what we're putting in the S tier. Look, it's at most a B tier for nostalgia's sake, but to pretend like the movie isn't all about just like there's literally a character that just goes around farting the entire movie. Like, are we really putting that in the S tier? Like, that's like literally his whole purpose of the movie. Like, I mean, it's a lot of
It's
cliche
hilarious.
stuff. The girl that's better than the guys, but they still like make fun of her, even though she like beats the shit out of them. Like the whole movie, like it's weird. I like Ed O'Neill. I like Rick Moranis. They're fun, but Rick Moranis seems kind of checked out for most of the movie. And it's fine. I mean, I'll be generous and give it a B. I'll be generous and give it a B.
That's generous, huh? All right.
Yeah.
Well, would you be talking about my mama?
Somebody
Like
call
Little Giant-
911.
Yeah, like Little Giants. It's a lot of fun. That I grew up with it. Like Rick Moranis is always awesome when he pops up. We lost him as an actor way too soon, but supposedly he's coming back for some Honey I Shrunk the Kid. So I'm looking forward to that. So, but we've been also seeing Ed O'Neill in there, and like it was a lot of fun. I don't know if I would go as far to put it in the S tier, but I'd give it a solid A. I think it's pretty solid. So yeah.
Are you guys really going to put it on the
for
same level as where Rudy is going to end up? Like seriously, like it's on the same cinematic level as like Rudy?
No,
Yeah.
I mean, let's be real.
Is it though?
Let's
Yeah.
be
It's not on
real.
the
I'll bring that up.
It's not on the same
Yes,
level because
it is.
I'll bring it
No.
up.
Because Rudy's S
Like,
tier,
like why I think
Little
it's a
Giants
great
is not.
movie. I'll bring it. I'll bring it up on why I think it's a great movie when it's my time.
All right, it's your time. Go.
Oh,
Yeah, it's
okay.
your time.
That
Go for it.
speech they give makes me literally want to get up and run like through a wall. The one-time speech, like that speech is actually almost as good as like can't lose speech from like Friday Night Lights, and plus it has Sam Horrigan, who is the king of kid sports villains, who was also the bad guy in the movie Brink. So yes,
Okay.
no, like Ed
Classic.
O'Neill is actually like hilarious in this movie. I love this movie, and then like to say that it's not great, the Giants actually brought out their red jerseys, and then they actually ran the annexation of Puerto Rico play in real life.
Puerto Rico, yeah.
So yes, this
Awesome.
is an S tier movie, definitely.
All right. Well,
So
Moose.
I'll start with a funny story. So I did not play in the Schmodown Free for All this year, but I did write all of the training questions for the Finstock Exchange, and I threw in the Little Giants annexation of Puerto Rico question. So what play was run at the end of Little Giants, right? And I'll say this: so the people who were participating in the training, 50% got it, and there was one participant who is in the Schmodown that is notoriously bad for spelling, and I won't name
Oh yeah.
individual. But
Sure.
the funny thing is that he spelled annexation correct, but Puerto Rico wrong.
I think I know who it is.
Yeah,
it was Triceratops tops.
there
Was
it
it
is.
him?
Yeah.
Yep.
Also, the Bear
Triceratops
Jew or
top.
Jew Bear.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
So it was
Jew Bear,
funny to have that. I like Little Giants. I don't love it. I think it's probably a solid A. I mean, it kind of falls in the category of like a Sandlot wannabe. And there were a few of those that came along. It's a football movie. I love football movies. It's a football movie involving kids. I love that. I love Rick Moranis and Ed O'Neill. I didn't love the movie, so I'm going to maybe give it like an A-.
What wasn't
All right.
Derek Thomas in the movie or no?
Oh, there's some kind of
Because I remember
There's some
there
football
was
player
actually,
in there.
NFL stars. in
Yeah,
there,
yeah.
too.
I know John Madden shows up, but I can't remember who he shows up with.
It's Emmitt Smith and Bruce Smith.
Okay, yeah, it's Emmitt Smith.
I thought
Yeah.
it was Derek Thomas.
Yeah,
Steve Etney, whatever his name is the bus.
yeah, something
Oh
like
yeah,
that.
yeah. Well, I think that it goes in the A tier, right? From like the average votes. I feel like, so.
Two S's, two A's, and a B. It's still kind of near the top of the. It's higher than Express
But you gotta
right
admit,
now.
though,
Yeah,
guys have got to admit
You do
though,
that.
Sam Horrigan deserves to be in more movies because like he was awesome in this movie, and then like he was awesome as the asshole in the movie Brink.
Yeah.
Now,
Well-
correct me if I'm wrong. Wasn't Devin Sawa the quarterback? Of
Yes,
the
Yeah.
he was.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he's junior.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
That's what it was. All right, yeah.
dude. There's a
Awesome.
horrendous scene in Little Giants where Devin Sawa and what's her name playing the icebox are like having this thing about like ew kissing, ew, you want to learn how to
Yeah.
kiss. It's the most cringy, awkward
it is,
scene
yeah.
you ever saw in your life. It's really
No.
bad, like really
I got
poor.
one that tops it. If
Oh,
you guys
sure.
remember the movie Blank
course.
Check
Hmm.
from
Yeah.
1994, they have a person who's about my age.
Well, that's a
32,
whole nother issue. That's a whole.
kissing a
I'm talking about
12-year-old.
people that are the same age.
Oh, okay,
I'm just
yeah,
saying
Yeah.
they're both like easily junior is like he's supposed to be like 13 years old. He would totally be into girls, and he's like, ew, you want to learn how to kiss? Gross.
Yeah,
And I'm just
right.
like, what? Come on, dude. Like, what are you
Ross,
talking about?
Ross,
Get
the
outta
other
here.
day I mentioned Macintosh to my wife when describing like an Apple computer, and she goes, "Oh, like the movie Blank Check."
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, but still,
Yeah.
I love that movie.
That's awesome.
as a kid though, I was like, yes, he gets to kiss the girl, and as an adult, I go,
Yeah.
she's 32 and he's 12.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Yeah.
But well, anyways, Austin, you're up next. So what do you want?
Okay, so I might need more than a minute on this one, to be honest. Just bear with me. All right. So I usually, much like I did with the baseball movie, if you guys recall, I took one for the team and watched a movie called Ed. That was an absolute trash fire, piece of garbage. All right. So I
Know where you're
figured I
going.
would watch a movie that I thought would probably be on the worst on the list just for the team. Okay. So I watched Air Bud Golden Receiver. I really did. I watched Air Bud Golden Receiver. And okay, here's the reason it's not quite going into the F tier. I'll be generous and give it a D. Okay, only because I'll give it this. The dog really, it's a real dog doing real stuff, as opposed to Ed, which was a creepy person in like a monkey outfit, like doing weird stuff and burping and farting their way through the movie. The dog does not do any diarrhea. The dog does not fart on anybody. The dog does not stuff his face with food. Nothing like that. So it's the dog legitimately catching footballs, running around. Okay, best actor in the movie, easily. Okay,
I gotta
But-
disagree with that.
oh, he's the best actor in the movie. The dog
No.
is 100%. Oh,
Matthew
100%.
Lawrence is not terrible. Matthew Lawrence is not terrible.
It's not Matthew Lawrence. It's Kevin Zegers. Matthew Lawrence is in the
No.
movie.
Okay.
No,
yeah.
wasn't he in one of them though? He was in some. Oh wait, no. That was.
He's in the other football
he
one,
was in
like
No.
like the end zone one or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Air
he's in
Bud
that.
Golden Receiver stars Kevin Zegers, who was in the first movie. So I'll give it this. It has the continuity of the first movie. He's playing basketball at the beginning. They go football. The only reason I watched the movie is I wanted to see if Air Bud actually got tackled at any point. Because I was like, is there anybody that's actually going to tackle this dog? Answer, yes. Spoiler alert. This one dude pancakes this dog at the end of the movie, and it's awesome. Because like, well, listen, it's that stuff is fun enough. Okay, it's like, oh, there's the dog. He's doing fun stuff. The rest of the movie is trash. It's garbage. It's like the worst cliche nonsense you ever saw. You've literally got Nora Dunn from SNL that we've been watching in 1986, playing this like Boris and Natasha Russian couple stealing people for a dumb circus. It's like every plot you ever saw in every other kids movie. You got the kid. The kid's mom is dating a guy. Oh no, she's dating and trying to be happy. I don't like the guy because she's dating. Like one of the most non-plots you ever heard in all these
one of those douchebaggy guys or whatever. Yeah,
he's not even a douchebag. He's like a good dude, but of course he doesn't like him because it's just the same old garbage. Just terrible, boring movie with the dog doing some mildly impressive things, which is why it just narrowly escapes the F tier and goes into the D.
Well, I'll have to say that I have not seen this one. I have seen the original Air Bud, but I haven't seen any Air Bud after that because that one was enough to turn me off to like not go back to this franchise.
The original one's good.
So,
the original one's good.
Yeah. So
I wouldn't say it's good, but it's watchable.
Anything with Michael.
The original one's a movie.
Good.
I'll just say it's a movie.
Anything with Michael Jeter is good.
Yeah, but Ross, what do you think for
I
Air
haven't
Bud?
seen this in years. I remember liking it okay, so I can't really. I gotta go with the D tier only because I get this movie and then like Angels in the End Zone confused.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah,
because they're the
so Matthew Lawrence is in Angels in the End Zone. Yeah, but that one was straight to video, so it doesn't count. Air Bud Golden Receiver actually made it to theaters, believe it or not.
Yeah, right.
Didn't make its money back, surprisingly.
Michael
surprise,
Jeter,
surprise.
in the first one was amazing. He was amazing in the Green Mile. So,
all right, yeah. But Moose, what do you think? Have you seen Air Golden
Receiver? And I will repeat my statement from the baseball shoot, which is no animals in professional sports movies. Okay, come on.
Yes,
right.
Yes,
come on.
Yeah.
No animals.
Yes.
Well, no, you know what's even worse, Moose, is this movie. Okay, at least the first Air Bud, I'll give it this. There's that scene where like everybody remembers from the trailer where the referee's like, "Well, there's no rules saying the dog can't play basketball," and then they plays basketball. Like they at least consult for a second on whether or not the thing can play. In this movie, Bud just runs onto the field and starts playing, scores a touchdown. The referee's just like, touchdown, okay. And there's literally no like meeting. There's no scene with like officials talking about it. They're just like, okay, the dog can play the football. Okay. It's just like, they don't even bother. And it's horrendous.
Well,
that's why this movie deserves an F.
That's why it sucks.
This movie is better though,
like
than its sequels. Those like buddy movies.
No Malcolm.
No Malcolm.
No Malcolm.
Yeah.
No,
Right.
I'm gonna go with an F on this one.
Can't play sports.
There's no rules, but
I'm gonna have a movie in my F tier though that'll surprise you guys.
All right.
Okay.
All right.
We'll throw it to Chris. What do you think for Air Bud? Have you seen it?
I remember seeing this movie years and years ago with my niece, and I think I liked it. I mean, it was okay. I mean, kind of like what you said, Austin, it's an all right movie. It's not horrible. It's not incredible. It's, but I would never. Yeah. So for that reason, I wouldn't put it in F. Like you said, I thought it was cool that it was a real dog doing stuff. Yeah.
Yeah,
that's why it's better than Ed. It's not Ed was F because it's like garbage, and they even forget that he's supposed to be playing baseball in that movie. Like this one, there's actually a decent amount of like montages and scenes where he's playing football. So like that bumps it up from an F to a D, or at least they tried. Mm-hmm. So like that's why I think it deserves D tier at least.
Yeah.
Well, I have a question though. So I haven't seen it, but. But do they at least have one of those scenes where he gets injured and they're like, come on, Air Bud.
Oh no, that's the thing. That's the thing. Is so he's totally
one of those
dodging everybody the whole movie, and that's the thing. You get to the final game, and this one fully grown kid, like it's not. I don't know if it's an adult, but it's definitely like not an 8-year-old or whatever. It's somebody literally spread eagle pancakes the dog and like tackles him. Of course, he does the thing where he's down, and they're all just like, "Oh no, Air Bud, you're good. No, come on. Oh, he's." Yeah. And I was like, "He's on the team. Like, what do you expect the guy to do? Just let him run amok every time? Like, you got to tackle him at some point. I'm sorry, he's still a player. like, okay." And then, of course, like he wants back. He comes back for the final play. Of course, it's just the most cliche thing you can think of. Anything you think could happen in this movie probably happens.
All right, I'll make you a deal. If there is a silverback gorilla that would play middle linebacker in a movie, that would be the exception for animals in sports movies.
Maybe.
Yeah. It's just giant beasts coming through,
Yeah.
like stacking
Sure.
the
I've
quarterback
actually
all day.
thought about
Let's
like
go.
what position would each like Batman character play? And you're like, and then do you know who I said would be the perfect middle linebacker?
Bane?
Yes.
Yeah.
Linebacker.
Yep, that's the obvious choice. Yep.
All right.
Well, I guess it's my turn
Jordan,
now. So,
Jordan, you're up.
everybody in the D tier. Yep.
Yeah, leave it in D tier. I'm not shooting high. It's fine.
I'm gonna go with my favorite movie on the list, and that is the movie Radio. I freaking love this movie. I think it's great. Like this movie gets me every single time. Yeah, so like I gotta give it an S tier all the way. Like I love the performance from Ed Harris. I love Cuba Gooding Jr. Like this movie is like very inspirational for me. Like it's just kind of showing like because they don't like put Radio on the team. They just kind of make him like a guy that just kind of really helps out, and it's like pretty inspirational. And then you have a movie that's all about the football team as well. So like you get to see kind of both aspects of it. I think that it's just great. I've seen Radio probably at least like a dozen times. And
are you being serious right now,
every time.
Are you being serious, bro? Like seriously?
Yeah.
Are you seriously?
S tier all the way. This is one of the best football movies to ever be made.
God.
Radio is freaking awesome. Yes.
I'm going to disappoint you in a minute.
So, all right. Well, my S tier is gonna drag it up from wherever you guys decide to drag it down. So,
Yep.
So yeah, but we'll throw it over to Ross.
I'm gonna put this in the F tier only because
S tier. Yes.
No.
F. You said F tier.
F tier. F tier.
Are you high?
Come on. No way.
It is awesome.
It is not F tier. Ed freaking Harris is freaking amazing in this.
Oh, come on.
Cuba Gooding Jr.
Listen. Okay.
Playing a handicapped guy, and he's not really handicapped.
This movie is actually like he almost plays it offensively bad. And then if Tropic Thunder points out how offensive your movie was, then
you don't go full
that's
retard.
pretty bad.
You don't go full retard. No.
Yeah, but
he literally is paying homage to a real person. There's nothing to do with the parody or anything. What the?
Yes, there is.
Dude, they put fake teeth in his
It's a true
mouth.
story.
Like, he's doing like a stupid voice, dude. It's like
he's trying to look like a real person. That's why, you know. So if you want to call the real person stupid, that looks stupid, you know.
Yeah.
And he's compared to that. So, anyways, Ross says F. What do you think, Moose?
I like Radio. I do. And you're right. Like at the end of the movie, they show kind of clips of the real life Radio and who he is. And you obviously, I mean, yeah, maybe Cuba was going a little too, hard on some of the acting premises, but you got to know that he would have spent time with, the real life Radio and, mimicked that type of characteristic. And I like a movie where people center around an ideal or a person, and Radio is that, right? I mean, that was kind of the catalyst that that team specifically needed. And I don't know if it's a superior movie. I would give it an A. That's my grade.
Well, sounds good. Chris, what do you think?
I love this movie. It's powerful. It's uplifting. I mean, as I said, it's based on a real person. We aren't playing some parody of anybody. It's a great movie. Absolutely S-tier movie.
Yeah, there you go. 2 S votes. Austin, what do you think?
D. D. It's about on the level
D
of Air Bud.
tier.
I think this movie is
Air Bud. It's on the level of Air Bud.
Oh yeah, I'd watch Air Bud before I'd watch Radio again. I think Radio is ultra cringe. I think there's stuff that just makes me groan. The stuff where he gets caught in the girls' locker room is horrible and cringy. The performance is bad. The performance is almost offensively bad. I think this would have made a better documentary subject or something, maybe like a 30 for 30 or something. I don't know, something with the real person, people talking about it rather than like doing this in this way. I don't think it works. Ed Harris is like the one redeeming thing for me. This thing plows straight into the D tier for me. Like I think it's pretty bad.
There are really only 2 scenes that truly work for me, and one of them is the shed scene, and then the other scene is where his mom dies.
Oh yeah. Yes, it's got some powerful, kind of heavy-handed stuff, and it's all true, based on a true story. So, but yeah, so we got 2 S's and an A, but then a D and an F. So I'm saying that like maybe
B.
Yeah.
I think that yeah, that's fair enough. But
okay,
all right. Well, we'll throw it back down to Ross. You're up again. So what do you got?
Okay, now get ready for the movie that I watched today, Gus.
All right, here we go.
I would put Gus as a high C to a low B. Okay, one of them is my fault. Is because like the DVD that I have has Don Knotts on the cover, and Don Knotts is not really the main character. But there are points that I laughed, even though the scene that I laughed the most at was too long. It is like in the grocery store, but it was like a lot more entertaining than I remember. And then it actually like. Any movie that has Don Knotts, the dad from Happy Days, and then Ed Asner can't be awful. This movie is okay. I thought it was okay. It was a good 90-minute watch.
Yeah. Well, Moose, what do you think of Gus?
It's okay. I mean, I'll go with Ross on that one. It's not. Overly entertaining. It's not an S tier category. I mean, I think it's Ed Asner, Don Knotts, and I think Dick Van Patten's in this movie. If I'm not mistaken,
Dick Buttkiss is in it.
Dick Buttkiss is in this one. Tim Conway is in this one. So I mean, it's of the times. It's okay. I don't know. I'll agree with Ross with a C.
But that one joke though. Almost had me dying in the grocery store. Is this butcher's going like, we got the best fresh meat here, and then you actually see the mule run out from the back. And the woman goes, "Yeah, sure, the best fresh meat," and she walks away.
Yeah, nice. Well, Chris, what do you think?
So for one thing, this is kind of a random, weird thing, and then I'll say my point. Apparently, the box office made $21,873,000.
That's not bad though for 19.
Gus?
Well, yeah,
that's like a shitload of money for. That's a shitload of money for Gus.
Yes.
That's a lot of money
for Gus. That's a lot.
It's not a good movie. I'm sorry.
I'm surprised it wasn't a franchise.
I love that cast. I mean, Ed Asner is amazing. Well, the dad from Happy Days. I love Happy Days, but this movie is just horrible. I'm sorry. I mean, I would rather watch Air Bud probably 10 or 12 times than watch this movie.
So we're gonna give
I would throw it an F.
F, okay. Well, 2 C's and an F, Austin. What do you think?
All right. I have not seen all of Gus, but I alluded to it earlier that actually in Air Bud Golden Receiver, one of the villains is watching Gus on his TV.
Okay.
So pretty much all I've seen of Gus is like the couple of clips that they put in there. But speaking of Tim Conway, who's in that movie, Tim Conway stars in several of the Buddies movies, the Treasure Buddies, Spooky Buddies,
really?
Space Buddies, all the spin-off of Air Bud.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of Air Bud
there's a lot of
connections. A lot of parallels going on here. But
cool.
I have not seen the full version of Gus. Look, I already watched Air Bud Golden Receiver. I'm not watching Gus in the same week. I'm sorry. I watched one piece of trash. I'm not watching another one. I'll watch one per show. That's all you're getting out of me.
Yeah, for me, I've seen like pretty much every old time classic Disney movie because my dad kind of raised us on like watching this, but for whatever reason, I never really saw Gus. Like, so that's not one that I ever saw. Like, the only thing that I've ever seen is like one scene of him like kicking a field goal or something like that. But that's it.
Mm-hmm.
But no, like, do not believe the cover. Don Knotts is not the main character at all.
Yeah. But like Don Knotts was like all over those like classic Disney movies. It was like the apple
era
dumpling
when-
game.
Yeah,
and all
when
that,
Gilligan was making a lot of Disney movies.
Mhm.
So
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
like that show was amazing.
oh yeah. But I'm going to refrain from
It's all
giving
right.
Gus a ranking.
I think C or D is fair for Gus. I mean,
Yeah.
it's whatever. It's
Let's say-
mediocre. You know.
Let's say D because we got a few C's and then we got a D and an F. So that's kind of
It got higher grades than Air Bud, so it goes above Air Bud.
Yeah, barely.
I
Yeah,
actually watched it for the
Yeah.
first time, but still,
Yeah.
it's still like anything with Ed Asner cannot be that terrible.
yeah. Well, it depends. Yeah.
It depends.
Yeah,
And
but-
everybody can have a bad movie, bro. Everybody.
Oh yeah. Yep.
All right,
everybody,
Moose.
and
You're up,
everybody
Moose. What do you got?
everybody needs a paycheck. So
Yeah,
Yep, right.
we all do at some
Exactly.
point. We all
Yeah.
got some mortgage.
I'm gonna go with Remember the Titans.
All right.
Let's see.
Now we're getting serious.
Now we're getting serious.
Where's it? Yeah. Right.
Hell yeah.
There we go.
And, okay, so there were two 2000 football movies, Remember the Titans and
Replacements.
The Replacements. That's right. Of the two movies, I think this is the better of the two. I think Remember the Titans is great. You have Denzel Washington, Will Patton, I mean Ryan Hurst. There's a ton of actors in this movie. You have the young Hayden Panettiere is the little girl for Will Patton's Bill Yost, Coach Yost, and it's such a good movie of like an example of breaking down barriers, right? I mean, they hired this head coach, and he was doomed from the start. I don't know if I can cuss, but the poor guy was from the okay. So he was fucked from the start in that the only way that they were going to employ a black coach was for him to go perfect. And the only way for him to do that was to get two opposing races to be able to work together, right? And I think that it was done excellently. There's so many lines in this one. Fun story, Donald Faison, P.D. Jones, right? Way back in the day, I used to be a tournament paintball player, right? And at one point, I shot this guy up from like head to toe because he wouldn't surrender. And I come walking off, and it was Donald Faison.
Oh, dude.
And I went, "Oh shit, P.D. Jones! I'm so sorry." At the time, I didn't know his name was Donald Faison. I just knew it was P.D. Jones from Remember the Titans. But I do think that this movie is a superior movie. I think that this movie is a great football movie, and I think that this is a great movie about not only overcoming objections and racism, but also adversity. So I'm going to give Remember the Titans an S.
Yeah.
This movie is definitely like an S tier. And then, like, how many people would actually go to be big stars or now, like, well known is great. Like, you have like the guy from Boy Meets World. You have now, like Donald Faison. You have Ryan Gosling, Kid Pardue.
Kate Bosworth is in this
I
movie.
loved. I remember I saw it in theaters opening weekend, and then I was like 11 or 12. When did this come out?
2000.
Okay, so then I was about 11 maybe, and then I didn't really get it, but I liked it, and now I even get it now, like even more, and then I think my favorite character and then actor in it might be Opie from Sons of Anarchy as the guy as like Jerry Bertier. But so yes, this movie definitely is an S tier.
All right, well, let's go to Chris. Let's stay in order. And
we're going. Order.
Sorry, I forgot.
That's all right. Well, Chris, you're next.
Chris, yeah, what do you think?
Kind of took my thunder, but all right. I was gonna follow up, basically say Moose said everything that I would have said about the movie. I mean, it's just an incredible movie. S tier.
Yeah. Sounds good. Austin, what do you think?
Yeah, no. Remember the Titans is definitely S tier. I think it belongs pretty high near the top. Denzel Washington. It's a role that he could do in his sleep, but it doesn't mean he is sleeping in this movie. Like he does it very well. Like he's a great coach who has like the heart, but he keeps everybody in line. He's great. I think Kid Pardue as Sunshine kind of steals the movie. Like he comes into the movie about 45 minutes in, and he steals it. Like I think he's awesome. Ethan Suplee's great as Louis. It's really, really good. It does the racism stuff, but it doesn't completely hammer you over the head with it. It takes its time with it, and it kind of builds to the, they don't get along immediately. It takes a while. It takes several. It's not like they come out, even come out of the camp and it kind of breaks down again and they have to build it back up again. Like it doesn't, it's not just like they flip a light switch, So I think it's really well done, and I think it's should be near the top of the S tier.
Yeah. And I would totally agree. Like this came out when I was in high school, and like it was awesome. Like they showed it like in like some of my classes too, just to show like the relationship between like blacks and whites, like some people overcoming obstacles and things like that. And also, funny enough, if you look up Ryan Hurst, the guy who played Bertier, like he looks like a freaking caveman or something. Like he has a huge beard. So like I don't know if that's what he looks like in Sons of Anarchy. Yeah. But
he is a caveman.
Yeah, right. Yeah, but
he was pretty scraggly on Sons of Anarchy. Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
I hated how he went out in Sons of Anarchy.
Oh yeah, no,
that's a conversation for another day.
Yeah, right.
That's another day.
Yeah.
Well, Chris, you definitely give your beard to run for its money, probably. So.
Absolutely, dude. My beard's just getting started, man. This is the longest I've ever had my beard. So yeah.
Oh, nice.
Well, Chris is starting a ZZ Top cover band very soon, and he's got to get ready for it.
We'll see if I can grow the hair out. I don't know. I have a balding spot in back. Yeah.
Does Malcolm still have a beard? Because I remember that Facebook post he posted. It showed him clean shaven. Does he still have it or no?
Ross? Oh yeah, yes.
Has it? But
during like the quarantine part of 2020, I was like, okay, so my father and my brother can grow facial hair like on command. They could sit in front of the camera, think hard enough, and start to grow a beard. Right? It passed the moose, and so I was like, you know what? I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna grow a beard during quarantine. So I think I went like 2 months, like
you just got tired of it.
Shaving in the right
got some
areas.
peach fuzz.
And at the end of it, it was like, well, there's a hair and there's a hair and there's a Billy Go. I'm like, maybe I can braid this one hair here. Yeah, couldn't do it. So envious and jealous of that beard. It's glorious.
So I will end on this little story about the beard since we're doing the show. But so I couldn't always grow this, okay? So in fact, actually, I was trying to grow a beard out, and my wife forever was like, because like I got a patch like right here in my beard where I couldn't grow anything forever. My wife started calling me Patches, and I'm like, "Thanks, honey, I love you too."
Yeah, right. Patches of Houlihan, but anyway,
Patches of Houlihan.
We
remember the title.
Sports movie.
It's a clean sweep for title, so it goes to the top of the S tier right now, Jordan. It's a clean sweep. So
right. Clean sweep. And also we did do our obscure sports movies. We actually had an episode for that right before the Olympics. We wanted to kind of coincide with the Olympics, but we have a best winter sports coming up that's going to have some kind of like Olympic type things and that. And look in that vein. So
on that list.
Oh yeah,
Dodgeball was on the list. I think it made the honorable. I think it made the honorable mentions for that list. I think it made the top of the A tier.
Yeah. Cover the 5 Ds.
Dip, dive, dip, duck, dodge. Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah. Yep.
As long as you guys are covering the bases, you guys are doing.
Oh yeah. But like one more thing, Jordan, about that Donald Faison. Like back in the day, he used to date Minka Kelly. I'm thinking he is one lucky man.
Oh yeah. Yep. From Remember the Titans. Yep.
You know.
Friday Night Lights.
He dated.
That's what I meant to say. Sorry.
Lila from Friday Night Lights.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I meant. But Chris, you're up. So
Chris, you're up. What do you got?
This is hard. I mean,
there's a lot of good ones. So
there's a lot of bad ones too.
Yeah, a lot of bad ones too. It's true.
So I gotta go with The Last Boy Scout. I love this movie. I actually watched this a while back. because actually I hadn't seen it. But as much as I love it, I know he's also a football player and everything else, but I really don't think it's technically a football movie. They really probably wouldn't call this a football movie. I'd have to say it's
Did you put it in
much.
not a football
I
movie?
would put it in the not in the football movies. But yes, it is a damn good movie. If we were talking about football movies, that would be okay. It would be an absolute. I mean, probably A tier, but definitely not a football movie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I just wanted to include it to see what you guys thought, if it was even like a football movie or not. But
yeah, well, Jordan and I
Austin?
already had this conversation privately, and I said, yeah, you can put it on the list, but I'm going to slap it right into the not a football movie category because it's not.
Yeah.
It's an action movie where one of the
Football on the
characters
cover,
happens to be a quarterback, and yes, the opening scene is the Tybo guy Billy Blanks shooting people on a football field. Yes, I know that, but if we included every movie that had a football scene, you'd also have to put The Dark Knight Rises on this list, even though it's not a football movie. See what I mean? So, there's movies like that. So it's not. I understand one of the characters is a football player, but then again, Brian the Boz has been in a bunch of movies where he plays a football player, and it's an action movie. So it's I would second the not a football movie ranking on that one.
Yeah. And like, if I were to actually rank it, I'd give it like probably right along the lines of what Chris said. Give it about an A tier, and also it's back in the days when Bruce Willis actually cared about acting. So like he's
great.
Good in it, but
I would put it in an A tier for like 90s action movies. I really like it. It's really good. I'm just saying, for this list, it's not a football movie. No, that's all I'm arguing.
Well, I would tend to kind of agree with that. Like, the more I think about it, like it's probably not like an actual football movie overall. So yeah, I'm actually happy to leave it there. But what do you guys think, Ross? What do you think?
I actually, if you guys can believe it, I've never seen this movie.
Okay, yeah,
I do want to see it though, because isn't it Shane Black?
Yeah, Shane Black directed it and he wrote it. Okay. Yeah, and it's really good. Bruce Willis is, like you said, he's really good. He cares. He's very quippy, but the jokes are good. Damon Wayans is good. Halle Berry's in it. Very early Halle Berry, even before the Flintstones. It's really solid. Really good.
Yeah.
Though it's been almost 10 years since Bruce Willis has actually given a shit.
Well, it's probably been more than that.
No. When did Looper come out?
We'll talk about it on Friday.
Looper was great.
Looper was
good. I mean, that's the last time that he actually.
What about the last Die Hard movie? Did that come out after that?
Nah,
I love the last Die Hard movie.
No, not the last one.
He's kind of floating through it, I feel like. But
he was
not
not
a good day to
bullshit.
A Good Day to Die Hard? No, he was sleeping through that movie. Live for Your Die Hard, he was okay.
Yeah, Moose.
Looper, though, he was actually amazing in.
This is John McClane meets Vince Young. This is not a football movie.
All right. Yeah, fair enough.
So I'm going to go with that.
Chris, I'm inclined to give Chris another. Now that we got that out of the way, I'm inclined to give Chris one that actually is a football movie that he wants to rank. Is that okay? Chris, you wanted to actually do a real football movie?
Sure.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
I appreciate us knocking Last Boy Scout out, but yeah, once you rank a football movie.
I got to go with Draft Day. Okay.
Ooh.
I mean, such a good movie, and he is such a fucking phenomenal actor. I'm sorry, just right off the beat. Like, he's literally one of the greatest actors that still is acting today. Michael Keaton is just incredible, and this movie is just an awesome movie. Like,
you mean Kevin
behind the scenes? What?
Kevin Costner, not Michael Keaton.
You mean fucking Kevin Costner? Yes, sorry.
I
just said two words in one thing. Kevin, I love Kevin Costner. He's a great actor. It's just an incredible movie at the behind the scenes of what it takes to draft a team and everything else. I thought that was awesome. And I definitely went into this movie where I was like, okay, why do I care about this? And it turned out it was really good. So I would have to put this probably at the top of S tier for sure.
Okay. The top, well, Well, Austin, what do you think for draft?
Yeah, I just saw Draft Day for the first time this week. I had missed it in theaters, and this is coming from a guy who doesn't really watch any of the draft stuff. Like, I don't really care. I don't watch the draft specials. I don't really get into, like, I don't play fantasy football, none of that stuff. But, like, this movie knocked my socks off. I loved Draft Day. I thought it was ridiculously entertaining from start to finish, the way it just kind of builds and builds and builds and all the different, like, if you like confrontational phone calls, like, this movie is for you. Because there's some great phone call acting on this thing, but I just thought the pacing was excellent. Costner is like probably it's one of his best roles in the last 10 years, like, easily. Chadwick Boseman is great, like, every time they cut to him. Frank Langella is a lot of fun. A lot of great character actors, like, show up, throughout the movie, just
a lot,
spots here and there. Jacksonville plays a role near the end of the movie, so that's fun. I know Jordan Seahawks, are kind of a central figure in the movie too, so there's a lot of good stuff in here. But yeah, I would say it's almost as good as It's the Moneyball of sports movie or football movies. And I thought it was a lot of fun. So I'd agree with S tier. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and I would agree also. Like, when I'd say S tier, like, now it's no Remember the Titans, but it still belongs in the S tier. I feel like and it has a lot of people that just pop up that I had no idea were in the movie. Like, I watched it this week for the first time also, and like, I didn't know Chadwick Boseman was even in it. I didn't know that, like, Terry Crews shows up, and Sam Elliott as the coach of the from Wisconsin on there. And then you have some, like, random ones. You have like Sean Puffy Combs or P. Diddy or whatever, like, he shows up, and then you have Tom
he was
Welling,
totally believable as, like, this high-end sports agent. I bought that hook, line, and sinker. I could see him doing that in real life.
Yeah, right.
Like, just being like the hype man for Bo. He was awesome. Yeah.
Well, like, for a minute, I was just like, well, this is how the draft works. They just have these celebrities following them around, but I'm like, wait a minute, no, he's actually acting in it, So yeah, but yeah, like, I'd give it a solid S tier, probably about mid S tier. So yeah. Ross, what do you think for drafting?
Without saying my rating, I'll give you my rating. Every single draft morning, I watch this movie. So what does that tell you? Like, and then, like, any line that has Kevin Costner calling this guy "you pancake eating motherfucker."
Yeah.
Yes.
The guy from the Seahawks eats his pancakes. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Well,
so
Moose, what do you think?
Definitely
S tier.
Yeah.
All right.
It's S tier. It's not the top of the S tier. It's S tier. My boy Downtown Griffey Nooms is in this movie. He's Rick the intern.
Yep.
Oh, he is. Oh, nice.
That's cool.
Oh yeah.
So this movie is a favorite of The Exchange, for sure.
Yeah.
But also, look, the first movie I nominated with the baseballs was Moneyball. So I love the inner workings behind the organizations, and when they actually show how these things happen, right? And yeah, you're absolutely right. The pancake eating motherfucker. You can only imagine what these GMs, like, in professional sports, actually say to each other. It's probably exactly that. So
it's
S tier movie for sure.
I've read the original script, and then the original script was not as good as this, is because, like, the plot line was completely different. Imagine if you're picking, like, 24th or 25th, and then you find every single one of your first round grades was drafted.
Okay. Yeah,
dude, Dennis Leary was awesome in that movie as the coach.
Yeah.
He was great.
Yes,
He's always great.
Like a real NFL running back was good in this movie, which was Arian Foster. He played Terry Crews' son.
Okay, yeah. Nice. Well,
yeah, but still, this movie's amazing. I watch it every day.
Yeah.
Well, we're 5 for 5 on draft day. It's right up there next to Remember the Titans right now.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely.
I'm gonna stick it right there. So yeah, but
all right, sounds good.
Do you guys know who directed it? Right?
Ivan Reitman, Ghostbusters.
Oh yeah, yeah.
My favorite movie.
Nice. Well, Austin, I think you're up next, right? Is that?
Well, all right, yeah. Well, I had a garbage movie last time, but I'll get serious for this one. And we need to go ahead and get Rudy up there because Rudy's going to be near the top.
Rudy,
and I think it's. Now listen,
There we go.
Yeah, right there. Say what you will about what was real and what wasn't, because Hollywood takes liberties, and we all know that.
Yeah.
Hollywoodizes things up, and that's fine. Like, I know the stuff at the end, some of the stuff at the end, and some of the things sprinkled out didn't really happen. But having said that, Rudy is the Rocky of football movies, and it's this kid fulfilling his dream, busting his ass. It's all about working hard to get what you want, and even if it's only one play and one game, doing everything you can to get there. He gets the crap kicked out of him throughout the movie. You really feel for the dude. He earns his spot. He earns his respect. The movie is, if you're looking for inspiration, Rudy is it. Again, despite what may be real, what may not be real, it's there. And I don't know if it's as good as Rocky, but it's the Rocky of football movies. And I think it absolutely deserves to be on the S tier. I hadn't seen it all start to finish in probably 20 years. I watched it this past week because it's one of those movies you catch on TV. You catch like 20 minutes here, you catch 15 minutes here. It's one of those TV favorites. You're always kind of jump right in the middle or something like that. But yeah, it's great. It still works. Yeah, it's definitely a pretty high S tier for me.
Well, if you guys are gonna knock radio down to a B tier, this is my second favorite movie on the list. So I gotta go S tier all the way for Rudy, because so I actually met Sean Astin, and when I met him, I didn't really want to bring up the like Rudy thing, 'cause I'm sure he gets it all the time. So I brought up another football movie that's actually on the list. That's a Christian one. That's called Woodlawn. So like that movie was about to come out. So I'm like, I'm really excited for your new movie, Woodlawn. And he's like, awesome. Like, I don't really hear too much, too many people saying that. So appreciate that. So yeah. But yeah, he was awesome to me in person. But yeah, Rudy's awesome. Like Rudy's just like the epitome of like an underdog, just kind of working his way from the ground up, and has so much heart, and like just gets everyone like pumped up and inspired to just be a better person. So yeah, I got to go S tier for Rudy. So
this movie
Ross?
is an S tier, and then like you can tell is because like I actually like have a story about this movie. I kept on talking to my mom about Rudy, and my mom goes down like, Ross, I don't care about football. You know this. Why would I want to watch a football movie? And I say, just watch it. And she loved it. If you can get a person who hates football in there, yes. And then like on set too, it was like kind of a like underdog story, because the actor that played the janitor actually served time for manslaughter. He killed a guy with a knife. So then like nobody else would cast him until Rudy. But yes, I love this movie. I cry every time. And then somehow it actually like bred like a beautiful friendship in real life between Vince Vaughn and Jon Favreau, because Vince Vaughn is in this movie.
Okay. For like a scene. Yeah. He's only in it for like a minute, and he's credited as Vincent Vaughn in the credits. I noticed. But of course, much like Larry Fishburne and Delawrence Fishburne. Yes.
Yeah. Right. Well, Moose, what do you think about Rudy?
Look, who doesn't love Rudy, right?
Actually, I know one person, the Schmodown, who would put this movie in the F tier.
Well, that person's an idiot. So
right,
John Roca.
Yeah, well, I'll stand by that statement.
Yeah.
I'll go toe to toe with him. But look, I think Roca doesn't like him because the real Rudy is sometimes kind of a bit of a iffy character, but the movie characterization of this movie, and you're right, Hollywood takes a lot of liberties on things, and this movie is great. Like, look, if you have ever worked really, really, really hard for something and never been good enough, but had an opportunity to have one great moment that could potentially be that defining moment, this movie is it. And look, I'm not, I'm a guy who works for a living, and I feel like we all are too. And so, Rudy's kind of the epitome of the average Joe who worked so hard for something. He lacked size, he lacked talent, he lacked ability, we could fill up all of our fingers and toes with what Rudy lacked, but he worked hard and he was determined and he had a dream. And all he needed was that one moment. And sometimes that's all you need to be able to fulfill that dream, is that one moment. And that's honestly what Rudy sometimes, or I shouldn't say sometimes, what Rudy epitomizes is that one moment that fulfills that dream. And so, I'm going to keep it in the S tier. Absolutely.
Yeah. I have a question though about it though, because it's been a few years. Did they actually develop into his dyslexia at all, or no?
They talk about it in the movie. He talk because that's what Favreau is kind of tutoring him on, is getting over his dyslexia. That's why his grades were never that great, and he's trying to get over it. Yeah, and it's interesting to see Favreau. And I'm sorry, Chris, I don't mean to cut you. I don't mean to interrupt your time. I'm sorry. I apologize. But it's just interesting to see Favreau. It's It's just interesting to see Favreau in this one playing like the shy guy who can't talk to girls. He's not cracking jokes, and you see him in something like The Replacements, where he's like a hard ass SWAT guy, playing football, and he's like the total opposite.
Or in it's just movie, interesting. I Love You, Man.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So Favreau, Jon Favreau in this movie and Ned Beatty are the two best characters. When the dad walks into the stadium. He
goes, Charles Dutton too. The guy that went to jail for murder as the janitor. He was also incredible.
That might take it down a notch because he did kill.
Right.
When Ned Beatty walks in and sees the stadium, and he says, "This is the most beautiful image these two eyes have ever seen." Come on, how are you not losing your shit at that point in time?
Yeah. Right. Yep. Exactly. Well, Chris,
I didn't mean to interrupt you, Chris. Go ahead. Sorry.
Dude, that's all right. I can't really argue against an S tier. It's a damn good movie. I don't really think I've seen it in forever, so I'd probably like to sit down and watch it again. I mean, but I do remember the time loving it. So, S tier, absolutely.
Yeah. Austin?
All right. No, I nominated it. So But it's another clean sweep. So we've got 3 clean sweeps kind of right next to each other.
Yeah.
We'll play around with the rankings later and see where they end up. Rudy's up there. So Jordan, you are up next, sir. Yep.
So I want to go with a movie that I watched this week for the very first time, and I made the mistake of watching the director's cut because it was over 2.5 hours long doing that. But that was a movie, Any Given Sunday. So I watched that movie. And I'll be honest, I just thought that it was okay. I didn't think that it was great. The speech that he gives it, one of the most iconic speeches in the locker room that you ever hear. But I'm not really the biggest Al Pacino fan. So for me, and also too, I'm not a big Oliver Stone fan either. The way that that's filmed it. It's you have a scene and then it zooms around and it's doing some kind of weird things with the camera and kind of making a weird tone on purpose because that's the tone I think he was going for. But it was good though. It's definitely not a bad movie. But I think overall I would give Any Given Sunday a C for me. That's just where I was. But I didn't love it, but I didn't hate it. So it was all right. But I'm curious to see what you guys think. Ross, what do you think about Any Given Sunday?
This movie's a B. I don't love it, but I don't hate it. I do love Oliver Stone, but this one I think is one of his lesser movies. It's no JFK or Born on 4th of July, but still, this is a decent movie. It's not great, but it's not anything awful either. Am I sorry I watched it? No. Would I watch it again? Maybe in about 15 to 20 years. And it's been 15 years. It's been 15 to 20 years since I've seen it. So I think C is a good category for it.
Oh, and Cameron Diaz, she was just awful in this movie. She cannot act.
Mm-hmm.
But then on the opposite end, Jamie Foxx was the highlight of this movie. I thought he was great. But Moose, what do you think?
This movie's okay. A definite miss by Oliver Stone. I mean, you hear Oliver Stone in a football movie, but incorporating what happens behind the scenes, you would be genuinely excited by it. And then you see this movie and you're like, that's kind of my takeaway from it. Charlton Heston as the commissioner of the league, the one line, probably only the one line aside from Pacino's Inches speech, is when Charlton Heston walks away from Cameron Diaz and goes, "That woman would eat her young."
Yes.
That's kind of the only highlight for this one. Jamie Foxx, I will agree with you, Ross. Jamie Foxx was solid in this one, but then you have Lawrence Taylor, pretending to be an actor, being serious. Yeah. All in all, LL Cool J is the running back.
Cool J.
And then Johnny Yu as the other coach.
Yeah. And I liked Dennis Quaid as the quarterback of the Miami Sharks, as kind of the veteran guy, ushering in and realizing his time is done. That was the only storyline in that movie I give a crap about. I'm going to put this one at a D.
Yeah. And there's no need to watch the director's cut. That is way too long. So just watch the regular cut if you're going to watch it. But
actually, the regular cut is longer than the director's cut. The director's cut is 162 minutes. The regular cut is 170 minutes. Yeah, the director's cut is shorter.
Oh wow, crazy! But
both sound 45 minutes too long for me.
Yeah, no, damn right. yeah. Chris,
what do you think?
I'm kind of with you, Jordan. Like I remember watching this movie years ago, and you hear like so many good things about the movie, but I was like, it was all right. I mean, I didn't hate it. I mean, as you said, like I love Charlton Heston in that role, but I felt like Charlton Heston could have been used so much more because he's such a phenomenal actor, and in this one he was kind of just there.
Yep.
I don't hate Al Pacino. I mean, that speech at the end was incredible. Everyone talks about the Inja speech. But at the same time, I don't have like a massive love for this movie like I feel like so many people do.
Yes.
Yeah.
So for that reason, I agree with you, man. I definitely would not put it at the bottom of D. I'd put it at the top of D because those movies deserve to probably be an F. But we'll talk. About that.
Pacing. Oh, yeah. Too though. Sorry about this, but like pacing is important. Is because like this movie's like 2 hours and 42 minutes, and it feels long. JFK is 3 hours and 12 minutes, and then like I could do another like 30 to 40 minutes of JFK.
Yeah,
good point.
Mm-hmm.
And also, there's no need to see like a bunch of naked dudes. Like I know it was a locker room, but there was like one too many dicks in that. I was kind of like, whoa, all right, interesting. But Austin, what do you think?
Yeah, I do like a high C. It's just a weird movie because it's Oliver Stone like trying to do this behind the scenes football movie, but of course because it's a football movie, he has to do the football scenes, and the football scenes are just strangely edited, and like you got the eyeball stuff, which like does not need to be in that movie. You've got, but I do applaud it for this. There's certain things that I do like. They go into like CTE way before people were talking about it in that movie. Like they talk about concussions. They talk about like some of the backhanded dealings and things. Like the stuff with Cameron Diaz, as bad as she is in the movie, the dealings she's trying to move the team, like are kind of interesting behind everybody's back. There's interesting concepts and things in the movie. It's not horribly made. It's just too damn long, and it's just a weird movie. Like
it's weird.
Who's
she based off of? Who's she based off of? I forget. She's either based off the Rams owner or the Bears owner.
It was based off of Barbara Frantari, who was the former Rams owner.
Yeah.
Okay. And then too, I've heard also too like
former.
She's also based on like Virginia Mikulski or something like that, which was the Bears owner too.
Okay.
Yeah.
But
I think a C tier is pretty perfect for any given Sunday. I mean, it's because it's not as bad as like Gus and Air Bud. It's way better made with better acting and stuff. But it just kind of misses the mark on in a lot of areas. That's all.
If Oliver Stone had focused on just like either the head coach or Jamie Foxx and Dennis Quaid's like retiring veteran, entering rookie. There's just too many storylines with too much shit going on.
Too much going on. Yeah, it's trying to be 10 different movies at once. It just doesn't work.
Going on,
Yep. But I think C is pretty perfect because we had a B, 2 C's, and 2 D's. I think a C is pretty perfect for that. Sounds good.
Yeah. All right. Back to Ross.
Ross, what do you got?
I got my next S movie, which is Brian's Song.
All right. Let's see. There we go, Brian.
Even though that I would technically say though, I thought you guys don't do TV movies though.
We don't, but Jordan put it on the list. I don't know. We might make an exception for it. I don't know. We might make an exception for it. Who knows?
Sorry, I'll stop. Continue, Ross. I won't do you.
This movie is amazing. I do really
love it.
So, like I cried.
A lot of people like like ran and rave about it. They think that that's like one of the best TV movies to ever be made. So I just added it. People always talk about this.
True though. Technically, it is a theater movie. Is because it was released in theaters after people were ranting and raving about it. But this movie literally makes me cry. It's because Brian's song. And then it has James Caan and Billy D. Williams. I cry every single time. That I watch it. I've seen it quite a few times. It's just an amazing movie that makes me, and then James Caan is at his peak here. I know Sonny and the Godfather might be a little bit better, but I like this performance a little bit more. Because Brian Piccolo was young when he went. So this movie is an S tier. I would put it above The Replacements, but below Draft Day.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. But Moose, what do you think about Brian's song?
Great story. The movie feels like at this point a made-for-TV movie. I again look. You can give me Jimmy Caan and Billy D any day of the week, and I would love that. If I got Sonny and I got Lando in a movie, usually I'd be pretty happy at that point. But I like the Brian Piccolo story. I mean, it's a hard story. It's an inspirational story. It's the win-win for the Gipper kind of thing. I don't know if because of how much it's aged and how much of the time it was, but I would still probably give this movie an A-, maybe a high B+.
Yeah. Sounds good. Chris, what do you think?
I forgot though. Sorry about this.
Somebody comment. Okay, continue.
Yeah. But what were you gonna say?
I was gonna say, Ross, continue.
Yeah.
And then you have Jack Warden as George Hallis. So yes, anything with Jack Warden I'll watch. So yeah.
Sure.
All right, Chris.
Yeah, what do you think?
I've never seen this movie. I watched the trailer for it, and I was like, "This looks boring as hell."
It's not.
I was like, "This is just horribly edited." It looks like it was put together by a second grader, and I'm pretty sure a first grader could put together a better movie.
To be fair though, those 70s trailers though, they do not have good trailers at all. To be fair,
yeah. But based on that trailer, because that's the only thing I have, and so that gives me a vote here. I'm going to go with F. It shouldn't even be near the top. It shouldn't even be a film on anybody's list. I mean, if you want to find it, it is now on eBay for $5. If that tells you something, okay?
All right.
Yeah.
Might be able to find it in the $5 bin at Walmart floating around. Maybe.
No one even wants it at Walmart.
This movie's nowhere near it.
You can watch it on YouTube.
Right.
This movie's nowhere near an F, is it?
It's an F.
Well, Austin, have you seen it? What do you think?
I saw it a long time ago. I think we watched it in school. It's fine. It's a TV movie. It's corny. Look. I'm sure the story is nice. It's kind of like The Express. I think the story would make a better documentary than it makes a movie. I'd like to see these real stories kind of put in sort of a real context, get some people interviewed, work in some real footage, all that stuff kind of intrigues
like radio
me more.
Or something?
Well, no, God,
like
no.
Documentary?
Radio's a better Radio would be a better documentary than a movie. That's for damn sure. Anything would be better than radio. Air Bud's better than radio. Anyways,
wow.
Come on.
Yep, I agree.
But Brian's song is fine. It's good for TV movie standards, but comparing it to all these to Titans and Rudy and Draft Day, no effing way, dude. This needs to be in maybe C or low B category at best, something like that.
Yeah. Well, I've never seen it, so I have nothing to say about it because I know nothing about it. So
then why did you say yes earlier? You got all excited. You're like, yes, you've seen it.
Have you guys ever seen the best TV movie of all time? And I'm being serious.
What?
Which is Duel. Duel is the greatest TV movie of all time.
All right. Well, yeah. Well, Brian's song, I just want to throw it. Well, I throw it in there because I always hear people talking about it. Like when it comes to football movies, people do talk about it. So, but I think probably like a C tier. I don't know if that's fair. Like maybe below Any Given Sunday.
Yeah,
That sounds about.
It's a TV movie. It's a TV
About
movie,
fair
guys.
to me,
Yeah,
then.
I'm not putting it
Yeah.
up there with Rudy. I'm sorry.
All
No effing way.
All right. Well,
Yeah.
well, Moose,
All right, now
you're up
Moose
again. So
is up. Yeah.
what do you got?
Okay, so as much as I am iffy about the lead actor in this movie in most of his roles, I'm still going to throw this out. Invincible.
All right.
So the
Let's see.
Vince
Here it
Papale
is.
story is such a interesting and fun story.
Yeah.
Again, this is a nobody, right? A schmo who was never given a chance, was hard on his luck, and what he did for like the Philadelphia community, you know, his buddies encouraged him. He tried out for the Eagles. He made it. You know, this is Greg Kinnear was the head coach of the Eagles. I don't know. Dick Vermeil.
Yeah.
So I'll tell my funny story about Dick Vermeil at the end of my go ahead here. I actually have two funny Dick Vermeil stories, but
Yeah.
I saw this movie before it was actually released. Now I'm nobody special. I just happened to get an mailer that said, if you want to see a football movie before it's released in theaters, send this back. So I sent it back, and I got to actually go see Invincible with no music. You know, half of the sound effects weren't completed, or the visual effects weren't completed. But it was such an inspiring story of, again, somebody who kind of pulled them up by their bootstraps, had the encouragement of friends and family that were pushing them to do something. The like dialogue between him and his father. His father is just this broken working man who has nothing to hold on to but the Eagles, and then he makes the Eagles. And the scene where like and again, he's not a superstar. He's not, you know, he's the Rudy of the Philadelphia Eagles, right? And I fucking hate the Eagles, but I love this story. He makes that tackle, and then he scoops up the fumble, and he runs and he scores the touchdown, and that's based on an actual play. And then you learn, like, if you actually read the behind the scenes story of the like friendship between Vermeil and Papale, right? Papale ended up going on IR after like 3 years, and Dick Vermeil kept him on for 2 more seasons on the injured reserve so that he could get an NFL pension. And
that's cool.
Wow.
That's super cool. And he got a Super Bowl ring. Papale coached him to a ring because he was still technically on the team. So it was like they found the spark that lit the community. Papale was it. It's not the greatest football movie. There is one scene where Mark Wahlberg takes this hit as he's running along the sideline on the kickoff team, and he actually took that hit in real life, and they used these slow motion cameras to capture him actually getting hit, and like he's drilled, and he lost his helmet, and he ended up getting a concussion from taking the hit. So yeah, I'm not always high on Wahlberg. He's hit or miss for me sometimes. Fuck you, Wahlberg and Transformers movies, but
right.
The Vince Papale story, Invincible, that is an S for sure.
Yes, it is. Sorry.
Yeah.
Chris.
Yeah. Well.
No, dude.
Chris,
I agree, man. This movie was a lot of fun. You know, I kind of imagine like what it would be like to grow up in a town like that, where like the whole town is all about the football team. You know, and that's what that was. And obviously, as you said, he had his dad who was kind of an asshole, but that was the one thing that they could. That was the one moment where they kind of bonded. That was one thing they kind of like. That was the one moment where he wasn't being a douche to his son. You know, it was awesome. And the fact that, you know, he tried out and then got accepted and then went on from there, of course, to play. I didn't know that was a real play that was run. And now I want to know more details about his story. So that's really cool. But I agree. It's definitely an S tier movie.
Yeah. Austin, what do you think?
Yeah, so I missed this one in theaters. I just saw it this morning while I was eating breakfast. I put it on Disney Plus and watched it.
Nice.
So I literally just saw it this morning. I really enjoyed it. It was interesting having a movie that wasn't about just like a team of, underdogs winning a championship or whatever. It wasn't the cliche, like whatever. It was just this guy. It was, Rudy-esque, but not quite, because he wasn't always like going for the pros or he missed his shot. He's just a dude who likes playing football with his friends, and he just happens to be better than all of them. And they're just like, hey, you should go do that tryout thing, and he makes it. But once he gets there, he works hard and he gets his dream. But it's interesting. I like the twist on that. I like that the climactic game is not a championship game. It's just like the home opener. And it's just him doing the one play in the home opener. It's not building to something cliche. I kept waiting for the turn, like the typical Hollywood thing where like his friends turn on him, but they don't. Like they're just his friends the whole movie and they support him the whole movie. Like I kept waiting for that because you just see that in every other movie. It's like, oh, his friends are too supportive and they're going to turn on him or something's going to happen. And like it doesn't happen. It was just a nice feel-good story. I enjoyed it. I would put it as like a high A only because I just saw it this morning. I can't quite go to S tier for something I just saw this morning. So I mean, I'd have to sit on it a little bit, but I would not be mad if it made it into the S tier. Like I would totally be for it. I just personally like an A+. I really liked it though.
Yeah, for sure. And I think that like I would give it an S tier. Like I'd probably give it like more of a lower S tier, but it's a great movie. I don't know if there's too much I can say that hasn't already been said, but I do want to give a shout out to like I think that he played either one of his friends or his teammates. We have Kirk Acevedo.
Yes. Do you know which one he is?
He's from like Fringe. He's from Band of Brothers. He's been
no. I mean, do you know which one he is in the movie?
No, I don't know if he's.
Do you remember his
he's a friend or if he's a teammate?
His friend with the handlebar mustache.
Okay.
That's him.
Let it. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
That's awesome.
So yeah, but yeah, so I'm gonna give it an S tier, but for all the reasons you guys gave. So you guys took the words right out of my mouth. So
yeah,
so.
me too. Like an S tier about the whole thing about the IR thing. Moosey said it kind of reminds me a little bit of what the Chargers did. Is the Chargers were like looking at this running back, right? And then the running back end up now like getting a spinal injury in college, like with a car wreck. So then the GM still drafted him in the 5th round and said like we actually like want his work to mean something. So then like he'll be set for life. And then like he actually ended up playing and did decent for the Chargers.
Cool. Yeah, very cool. Well,
let me really quick tell my two funny Dick Vermeil
stories. Yeah.
So one of them, my buddy Steve goes paddleboarding down in like the Newport Back Bay area, right? So Newport, California, Back Bay area. You're a little rich if you got to live there. And so he's back there with a couple of buddies and they're paddleboarding, and he sees this old guy sitting like just on his like porch, and it's Dick Vermeil. And my friend Steve has no filter, so he's like, "Coach, what the fuck is up?" And Vermeil's like, "Hey boys," he's like, "You guys want some beers?" So they all paddle over to his dock, and he comes out and brings them beers.
Nice.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
Sure. Okay. Is Steve code for Bobby Gucci?
Yeah, no, it is not. It's not Bobby Gucci,
but he would do that, wouldn't he?
Gucci probably has Vermeil's number on speed dial. So
yeah, right.
And then the other one, a few years ago, for my wife's 30th birthday, we went up to Napa, and we were staying right across the street from Vermeil's winery. And in the morning, I was like, dude, I was like, we got to end our day at Vermeil's winery. Like, I want to at least go there and like take a picture at Vermeil's winery because I'm a Rams fan, right?
Yeah, all right.
The Rams. Mm-hmm. So we get there, and I walk in, and we're the only ones in this winery, and I make a joke, and I said, "Hey, where's Coach?" And they said he left 10 minutes ago.
Oh,
I was like,
like seriously?
Yeah. Like I've been like meaning to bring this up about like how you say that like you're a no one in the film community, Moose, right? So am I. I'm now like a part of this like disabled film school founded by Joey Travolta, and then the film industry is actually smaller than you think. Is because like my screenwriting professor, in his same year he went to school with Dustin Daniel Crenton, the director of Shang-Chi.
Nice.
Okay, yeah,
Ooh,
nice.
My favorite movie of 2021 so far.
Very cool.
Mine is Coda.
We're still
Okay.
gonna see it, but yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but but yeah.
All right.
Roll.
Sorry, I monopolized your guys'
No,
time.
it's all
I'm
good.
sorry.
No, you're
Chris.
fine.
It's all good.
Dude, you're
Yeah.
Take it
good.
away with that glorious beard.
I think Chris
Yeah,
has
yeah.
the next pick. Am I right? Did Moose nominated Invincible? Okay, yeah.
Yep.
So Chris, you're up next. What do you want to talk about?
Yeah. What do you got?
I'm trying to
So what we got left right there. See
Okay, so
if you're gonna take mine. Maybe.
I'm going to go with the original Longest Yard.
Okay.
The original Longest
All right.
Yard is absolutely S tier. I love this movie so much. I just rewatched it today. I love this movie. I mean, and it's Burt Lancaster. It's crazy to see him with a mustache. Wow, I'm an idiot.
Burt Lancaster
Reynolds.
is a very different actor
That's a
than Burt
different
Reynolds.
movie right there.
Yeah.
That's a very different movie.
Well,
No, you're good.
so Burt Reynolds without a mustache is kind of weird, but he's
Yeah.
just hilarious, and it's just a great movie all around. I love how he assessed his team up to win against this. To win against the
guards.
The guards, yeah.
Yeah.
But I just think it's a great movie. I would absolutely say it's S tier. Maybe not the high of S tier. I'm okay exactly where it is, actually, though.
All right. Yeah. Austin, what do you think?
Well, I kind of had an idea. Should we go ahead and just go around the horn and rank both versions and see kind of where they end up?
Ooh,
I mean, because
like
I feel like I can't really talk about this one without talking about the remake.
Yeah,
so why don't we kind of go around the horn
Let's put them
and
both
Chris?
up there.
Chris, do you have a
Where's the
ranking
other one
for the
now?
remake? Yeah.
So, the remake
bottom left. There you
is fun.
Yeah.
It has a cool twist on things, but it's definitely not as good as the original. I would have to put the Adam Sandler maybe at the top of B, but it's definitely not the original Longest Yard.
But it does have Burt Reynolds in it.
Oh yeah, it does. Yes.
Not
And then two now.
not Burt Lancaster.
Most
Yeah.
do not know this. It is if you pay attention to the golfing scene, one of the warden's golf buddies is the original guard from the original Longest Yard.
No, they have some
Okay.
crossover with both of them. Yeah.
But
Nice.
still.
Well, Austin, what do
All
you
right,
think?
so
Yeah.
I had seen the remake, and I rewatched the remake this week, but I also watched the original one this week for the first time. I was amazed at how almost beat for beat they are. Like they're pretty much almost scene for scene, exactly the same. They both have like the same opening minus the violence against women in the remake that the original one has. With I saw this scene in the original, and Burt Reynolds is like having this argument, and I'm just waiting for him to like slap her and throw her on the ground. And sure enough, he like slaps her and throws her on the ground. And I'm just like, well, I guess that's the 70s. We just didn't care. And he's supposed to be the hero, but anyways, and I think to me personally, I kind of found the remake just a little more entertaining, and I thought the dynamic of the prisoners was a little bit better in the remake. I think in the original one, it's not that they're like forgettable because you have Richard Kiel in there who played Jaws and like 007, and he was in like Happy Gilmore. Like you do have a couple of standouts. You have the guy who's like the serial killer. I forget the actor's name. He's the bald guy in the original. Burt is good. It reminded me a lot of like Cool Hand Luke, like with a little bit of football in it. Like I like that dynamic of it, the gritty 70s dynamic. But for me, I kind of like the presentation of the remake a little better. It's not Sandler being over the top. It's a little bit more reined in. I think the presentation of the game is better in the remake. I think the original one is very sloppy. Like the game is the continuity is pretty horrendous in the game in the original. Like the score is all over the place. The time's all over the place. It's very kind of hard to follow what's going on. But I would still probably put them both at like an A tier because I like both dynamics. Again, I like the gritty 70s stuff and the remake. My vote would both go to A tier for them, me personally.
Well, for me, I actually haven't seen the original. I've only seen the remake. So
you should, Jordan.
We need to go.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yes, I need to go back and watch the remake. But I mean, sorry, the original, but for the remake though, like I had a lot of fun with it. Like it definitely has kind of like a crazy zany cast. I feel like though,
It's too
like you have it.
stupid.
Like you have anyone from like Adam Sandler and Chris Rock, but then you have like Terry Crews in there. You have a bunch of wrestlers. You have like Bill Goldberg showing up, Stone Cold Steve Austin's in it, even Kevin Nash.
I'm a wrestling guy, so I like the fact that there's like 8 wrestlers in that movie. Like it's a lot of fun for me.
Whatever happened to the wrestler in the remake? You know, the Great Khali. Whatever happened to him?
Oh yeah,
he's still around. Oh, okay. He's a representative for India for WWE. He's like a consultant or whatever. He does press for them. Yeah.
Okay. And he's also in the remake too.
Smart.
So
yeah.
But like you have some like other cast too, like even Tracy Morgan, Courtney Cox shows up, even William Fichtner, like a bunch of just crazy like mix of
Michael Irvin
cast members. Yeah, and you even have like some of Adam Sandler's crew, Rob Schneider, and those guys show
Michael
up.
Irvin,
So
Nelly.
Yeah, right, Nelly. Yep. So for that, like to make something like that actually work, like it would be pretty entertaining. I'm not going to call it a great movie or anything, even though I'm a pretty huge Adam Sandler fan. Like I probably like Adam Sandler more than most people, but like I'd give it like a solid B. I think right where it's at here, that's perfect for me. So yeah. Sorry,
Ross?
Put it, but Ross, what do you think?
Okay, I love the original, and then I really like the remake. Oh, okay, I love the original. It's because like it have like all these classic football players, and then like the original is brutal. It's because like, do you remember the radio scene in the remake, right?
Mm-hmm.
When he turns on the radio, this one, it's the guy literally injects gasoline into the light bulb. So when the Rock character pulls on it, he literally just explodes on fire. And then
it's like a stunt. It's like a stunt man literally getting lit on fire in the cell, and they show it. Like it's pretty gnarly for like a '70s movie. Yeah, I mean they don't cut away. Yeah.
I compare it though to the same situation with Psycho. I saw the Psycho remake first, and I saw this remake first, and then the original blew it out of the water. Like yes, and then like anything with Ed Lauder as the William Fichtner character is like automatically gonna get like a plus. And then they're like, what is up with Jack Warden in 1970s football movies?
Yeah,
he played the warden.
He shows up a few times.
Well, what ranking would you give each one so I can keep track here? So what would you give the original? What would you give the remake?
A B, and then the original like an S tier.
Okay.
All right. Moose, what do you think?
I enjoyed both. They're both B's. I actually like James Cromwell as the warden a little bit more, but maybe I'm biased. I like James Cromwell. I mean, Farmer Hoggett can do no wrong.
Yeah, right.
Even though if you go back through, he's done a lot of crap movies. But both are fun. I tend to agree a little bit more with Austin in that having watched both of them probably within the last year, I like the remake a little bit more because it is a little bit more fun. It's a typical Sandler movie. He's the hero. He's got the hot wife. Every Sandler movie kind of follows the same string. So there's very much like the same strings. I'm local to California, so seeing Big Boy as Big Boy, like when he's holding up the sign that's like, I didn't do it. That's Big Boy from Power 106. It's actually fun to see him like a big boy again in these movies. But I'll give them both a B. They're not my favorite. This movie's never like both versions of it. And this is a movie the original 70s movie is a movie I grew up on. This is one of my dad's probably top 10 rewatchable movies. And it's just okay to me. It never struck a chord to me. Like when I was young, I watched it about a year ago and then went back and rewatched the remake. So if I had to give a grade, I'd say The Longest Yard a B and the New Longest Yard a B+.
Yeah.
All right.
All right,
So for the remake,
where
we've
we at?
got 4 B's and an A, so kind of right where it's at for the remake.
Yeah.
And then for the original, we've got 2 S's, an A, and a B. So maybe like high A. I mean, it could
Yeah,
definitely
speaking
slide.
of, like,
It could. Well, it could.
high
It could
A?
definitely.
There you go.
Depending on what happens, it could
Yeah.
definitely slide up into that S tier. We always bump stuff up,
Yeah.
if we don't have enough. So it definitely could slide up in there
Speaking,
near the
speaking
bottom
of
of
like
S tier.
James, speaking of James Cromwell, when he was making the Green Mile, he actually had to scoot down for Michael Clark Duncan. Do you know why? James Cromwell is 6'7".
I can
Okay.
see that. Yeah. I'm
He's
6
pretty
foot
tall.
5. We can recognize our
Is it?
own.
Yeah, right. True,
I'm
true.
5'11",
Well,
so I'm kind of short but kind of not. You know.
yeah, yeah.
You're right
Well,
there. Yeah. You're at that
yeah.
like average, like, above average height.
Yep. I believe it's Austin, right?
All right. Yeah.
How short is Barbarian? Because he looks like really short.
Okay. Pay attention to my Twitter feed because we're both going to the Rams game together on Sunday. We have tickets next to each other.
Oh, nice.
I'll take
We'll see
a
the height
picture
difference.
next to him. He's like here.
Oh, nice. Nice. Well, what do you want to pick, Austin?
Well, I mean, if we're on the topic of Sandler, should we just talk about The Waterboy and just see what happens with that?
Yeah.
Yes.
So,
yeah, let's do it.
all
I'm
right.
gonna steal my.
All right.
Hell yes.
I'm sorry.
I
Well,
think
you
I
know
was
what,
going for
Jordan,
it. Right?
Jordan. You know what? I'll
You're
let
good.
you have it. Jordan. I'll let you have it. It's fine. I'll talk about something else.
You're fine.
No,
either
you
way.
can have Waterboy.
Yeah.
You can have Waterboy.
As long as we get
I'll
to talk about it, I'm good.
I'll talk about. I just saw the movie version of Friday Night Lights for the first time this week, so maybe we'll talk about that real quick.
Yeah.
Boy, did I have like really weird mixed feelings on this movie. It was very strange because I think it, on the positive notes, I think it captures the crazed nature of Texas high school football and like their fans very accurately. You get like those stupid radio shows that they have with people who have never played football in their lives just being like, well, he's just an idiot and I think you should have done this and you should have done that. Blah, 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 blah,
Yeah.
blah. People have like never played and like they do capture the town very well. The performances are pretty good. The guy who plays Booby, I can't believe that's his name in the movie. Freaking Booby Miles, like what a stupid name. But anyways, like every time they said, no, not Bobby Boucher. I'm talking about Booby Miles from Friday Night Lights.
Oh yeah, the guy from the Wire.
Yeah. So I mean, here's the thing. He's supposed to be like this guy. I don't know if I'm supposed to be on his side. Like, I just thought that guy got karma what's coming to him when he got hurt. I was like cheering for it because I hated his character.
Oh, sorry.
I think Billy Bob Thornton is like pretty good. He does a good job playing the coach. It was just like, I didn't get as wrapped up in the story as I kind of wanted it to. Again, the atmosphere is good. I like the story they're telling, but I didn't really get invested in any of the characters. To me, it's like a B+. I enjoyed it, but I had like really mixed feelings on it. I've heard the show was good. I don't know. I've never seen the show, but I watched the movie. It was all right. Maybe like a B+.
Yeah, the show's not good. The show's amazing.
Yeah. But I got a question. So like I'm looking up the cast here. So like was it like Kyle Chandler and Connie Britton actually in the movie version? Do they show up?
No, Connie Britton's in the movie, but she plays like a different character, I think. Yeah. It's very strange.
Like it's showing
She's
them
barely in the movie.
Like if you Google the like movie cast, it was like a mix of the TV and the movie cast kind of.
I think
it's
kind of weird.
Billy Bob's wife, right?
Yeah, but she's barely in the movie. She's only in like 3 scenes.
Have a huge role.
Yeah. She plays Sharon Gaines. Yeah, it's Billy Bob's wife.
Yeah, but
wow, that's cool.
Yeah.
But for someone who actually lived in Texas for a couple of years, lived there for about 2 years, and like I lived in a small town, actually I went to the actual stadium where they filmed Friday Night Lights. So, like I've been in that stadium for the movie version, and like every Friday night. Like the town's literally shut down. Like that's a real thing.
Mm-hmm.
Every single person, businesses closed. Yeah. Every single person in the town is at that high school football game, and like people take it seriously. Like it's their like their way of life. They're like there no matter what. So like it's a lot of fun, and like some of the high school football stadiums, they literally look like college stadiums, or they're like ginormous. Like you never see anything like that. Where I live in in the country out in Idaho, but I mean, it's a fun movie though. Like it definitely kind of gives me a different perspective after seeing the TV show, and I'm trying not to let that skew my opinion of it. But like overall, like it's a fun movie, and also spoiler alert. Like if anyone doesn't want to have the ending spoiled, you can tune out. Like I'm just gonna talk about it for maybe like 10 seconds here, but at the end of it, they don't win. Like it actually shows what happens when you don't win. So I kind of like that aspect to show like you're not always going to win every game. You win some, you lose some, and like how they kind of deal with the loss and stuff. So like I think that's like a pretty cool thing. So probably I'd give it a solid A for me. Like I think this definitely belongs in the A tier. So, but Ross, what do you think?
I've never seen the movie. I'm gonna watch it after.
Oh, sorry.
The show.
No, I spoiled it.
I don't care. Like because the show probably like does it better. And then like I love like Coach Taylor's speeches. You know, like in the TV show. Sorry about this, but like I would rather take anything from Coach Taylor's 2 eyes, 1 heart, can't lose versus these like impassioned monologues. But I have not seen the movie yet though. Yeah. What is it? What is it? No. 2 eyes, right?
No. Clear eyes, full heart, can't lose. That's what.
Okay, yeah. But still, like, yeah. T. Jordan, I forgot to tell you this. Sorry about this, but did you ever watch Full House growing up? Right?
Yeah.
Do you remember Michelle's little African American friend Denise?
Oh yeah.
She's on Friday Night Lights.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, but still, I haven't seen the movie, but the show. But like, if we allow TV shows, the TV show would be on the very, very, very top of S.
Yeah.
Well, we'll probably talk about it on our TV show thing coming up on Tuesday. So tune in because I'm sure it'll be in our tournament fights. It'll be in our tournament fights. We'll talk about it later. We'll talk about it later, not now. We're talking about football movies.
Well, actually, Moose is going to be on it, so that's one guest there that we can let you know about. So yeah.
All I know of the Friday Night Lights TV show is the debate that Ann Perkins and Leslie Knope had on Parks and Rec regarding that show.
Yeah.
So, but I will defer to that to next week.
Nice.
This movie's bad. Look, this is kind of a Varsity Blues type, like more extreme a little bit. And my friend Steve, not Gucci Steve, who got beers from Dick Vermeil, grew up in Texas. And I remember having a conversation with him about like this movie. He says this is exactly a representation of how like Texas football is.
Yep.
When it comes to towns, like they literally shut down everything, no business. Like the entirety of the towns are at these games. So I for that I will give it a higher grade. I mean, this is kind of a Lucas Black like launch right here. I think.
I don't know about that. Do you know why? He did one about 10 years before that. Remember, Swing Blade.
Okay.
Oh yeah, sure. Yeah, French fried potatoes.
With Billy Bob, yeah.
With Billy Bob, sure. So it's not bad. I like it. I like Booby, James Booby Mile. It's funny because I grew up with a Bobby who we used to call Booby, so that was kind of like the one thing that I could relate to this movie. I don't know. I think your guys' grade at like a low B, maybe high C is accurate.
Yeah.
All right.
What do you think,
Chris?
Chris?
Have you seen it?
Based on the show, I would have to give this probably a F. I hated the show. I don't get the obsession with the show. It was always on like before things that I like. Everyone,
you're high as a kite, man. If you hate that show, that is one of the best shows.
I don't get it. It's really boring.
Well, have you seen the movie?
No.
I guess you haven't seen the movie. Okay.
We're
not.
The movie's kind of the same, but like not the same. So yeah.
Well, it's a show on NBC, right?
All right. So if I got to give it a grade, then because it kind of sounds like I might be that deciding factor, I'll give it a C.
All right. Let's see.
Yeah, because like there's only one network show that I watch on it, and then like that one is This Is Us. That's the only network show I really watch.
Yeah. Well,
Jordan, we've got a A, and a B and a C. So right in the middle of the B tier is probably where it goes. So yeah, right there.
Okay. All right.
Mm-hmm.
We'll leave it right where it's at then. So, was it my turn?
All right. Yeah, so it's your turn. So I think what we'll do is Jordan will go with you, and then we'll do another quick regular round, and then I think we'll hit the Hail Marys after that. Does everybody sound good to everyone?
Oh,
Yeah,
But
yeah.
we'll go around, but we'll go around the horn, regular style one more time after Jordan. So, all right.
Will you let
Maybe
me have
shoot
it? So
for shoot for. Yeah. Go with the water boy.
Yeah.
I'll let you have it. Yeah, go
I
ahead.
got the water boy.
Mhm.
So it's cool. It's clear. That's what I call high quality H2O. So yeah, but the water boy though, I distinctly remember my movie theater experience with the water boy because my friend Doug, me and him were both huge Adam Sandler fans and Chris Farley fans, and he passed away a few years back. So like he's one of my best friends, and like I remember just like we're going to see this movie, just laughing ourselves sick. But it was mostly because like he always laughed harder at like Adam Sandler and Chris Farley stuff for whatever reason. So like he always got me laughing too. So that was a good time. But the Waterboy though, like it's probably one of my favorite Adam Sandler movies. Honestly, like it's kind of back in like the like kind of like right in, like in the transition of like the like early kind of golden age of Adam Sandler, kind of transitioning to where like the movie started to kind of go downhill just a little bit. I feel like, and so, but like I would give it a pretty high rating. I definitely like it more than the Longest Yard. So I think I'd give it an A tier, but I'd put it at the bottom of the A tier though. But like there's just so many famous lines, you know, when he's like talking about like the medulla oblongata and like talking to Colonel Sanders and all that stuff. Like I could quote like quite a few lines from this movie. Like I hope you like what I did to y'all's lawnmower, and you see him cooking down the road, like going fast on his lawnmower and all that stuff. So yeah, I'm gonna give it a low A. So
yes, that's what I agree with. Only because of Kathy Bates. If Kathy Bates was not in this movie, it would be in a
Mama.
D. And then like she has one line that always makes me cry from laughter. Is when like he brings his girlfriend home, and then she asks him what's for dinner, and then you hear the bug zapper going off, and she says squirrel. This movie's hilarious. And then I believe it was the director who actually like made the cameo as the father, you know, and they're like, how can you put anything below an A of the line that started? You can do it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah,
and then like Clint Howard's great in this.
Yeah. Moose, what do you think about the Waterboy?
I mean, the Waterboy, I think, plays a huge nostalgic role in, you know, how I'm going to grade this movie, because this is probably my favorite Sandler movie. This came out when I was actually playing football. And you're right, there's so many one-liners, and one-liners I feel like sometimes determine the like value of a movie to certain people. I agree with Ross. Like Kathy Bates is amazing in this movie when she's hosting the coach and they're eating snake, and he goes, "What part would you say we're eating?" And she goes, "Basically, a snake don't have parts, but yeah, if I had to guess, it would be his knee." Right? Yeah. I mean, it's clever. It's funny. You know, the football is so unrealistic. The hits, the like punishment, the blocks, like everything. The football side of this is totally unrealistic from like a real world.
But it is hilarious.
But it's hilarious and it's fun to watch. I mean, I would give
I would
put this A+, maybe even an S. I'll go A+ on this one.
Yeah, and this is probably my sixth favorite. This is probably literally my sixth favorite Adam Sandler movie. Is because I got to go with Reign Over Me, Uncut Gems, Punch Drunk Love, and then probably Big Daddy, Click, and then this. I love Click.
Well, fair enough. Yeah, but
Chris, what do you think of the Waterboy?
I love Waterboy. I think the movie's hilarious. So many great lines, and I could watch this movie easily over most of these movies. probably. I won't say every day, but yeah, it's a great movie. I'd have to put it in S tier. I would put it in front of Invincible.
All right.
I used to think that one actor was terrible in The Waterboy until I actually like watched the first season of The Wire. He's amazing in there, as the wide receiver.
Oh yeah, the one African American guy, but forget his name.
Yeah, the one who matches the other team is the KKK.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But Boston, what do you think?
Well, Jordan, I just think that this tier ranker fights is the devil, and I forbid you from doing it ever again. and for my money, I ain't seen a better tackler since Joe Montana. Joe Montana was a quarterback, you crazy asshole. You crazy asshole.
Remember?
You said Joe Montana.
No, like
Joe Montana.
He never says though. Joe Montana. Do you know what he says?
He said Joe Montana.
Joe Montana.
He's the best tackler I've seen since. No, he goes. He's the best tackler I've seen since Joe Montana. And he goes. I said Joe Montana.
He said like Joe Montana.
Yeah.
I know. But I would actually, looking at the rest of this list, I would say this is probably my favorite football comedy, and for that, I would probably go with Chris and put it in like a low S. I would think, like, because I rewatched it again this week, and it held up. Like, yeah, the football in it is absurd, but like, I'll be damned if like a lot of the lines like completely hold up. Like Kathy Bates steals it; she's awesome, and the fact that I met Fairuza Balk and gave her a hug, who plays Vicky Valancourt, and she's a sweetheart, doesn't hurt it at all either. And then I have an 8x10 of her from this movie, signed.
Football sex scene is hilarious.
Yeah.
Remember when he sits on the football and he goes, "Woo!"
Yeah.
But I'm down with Chris. I'll give it a low S vote. Like I'm not gonna put it above anything that's in the S tier, like probably right now. But I'd probably put it like the 9 or 10 slot just for it being a football comedy. I'd roll with that.
Shit,
so,
Austin and Chris convinced me. I'll go low S too.
Okay.
Me too.
Yes. Actually, you convinced me too. I'm gonna go low S too. So let's go. Let's do it in an S.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. So, well, with that, we've got 4 S's and an A. So, all right, it goes above the replacements. We're probably above the replacements, actually. Yeah.
But like one of the scenes though that always cracks me up though is like with I always forget the guy from Happy Days, the guy the Fonz.
Henry Winkler.
Yes, he's the one that talks about like dad has sex with the football. Remember?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but like Henry Winkler when he's
what
like,
Mama don't know won't hurt her.
Yeah, when he's like, I cried like a 10-year-old girl. And he throws something out the window, and Colonel Sanders walking by, he's like, and just like hits him randomly out of nowhere. I'm like, what a random scene, but it just like cracked me up. Yeah, but
I ain't gonna have him hit by some idiot water boy. Do you understand me? Like Jerry Reed is awesome in that movie as well.
Yeah,
he's so good.
Didn't he die?
Yeah,
he
passed away a few years back. Yeah, he passed away a few years back, but he's great.
Yeah. But
cool.
But I think we're back to Ross though. So
all right. So so now we're back to Ross. I just want to say we'll just we're gonna breeze through a final round here. So maybe do your best to maybe shoot for one of the higher tiers, and we'll see if anything else ends up in there, and we'll go from there.
I can't think of any at the higher tier, but this one though that I think isn't terrible is actually the best of times.
All right.
It's not.
Where's that one?
What?
I don't.
Okay. Right there. Yep.
Right, you got it.
Okay. Got it. All right.
It's about nostalgia, which I like. I'd put it in maybe Steve's good. Steve's good now. Like, it's not terrible. I just think it's like underseen, only because like it's about this guy who wants to like relive his past, and then like imagine you got the money to do it, but still like it's not a bad movie. It's just underseen. I don't think it's great by any means. But it's okay. And then my second pick would have been a non-football movie, which would have been like Jerry Maguire. That is not a football movie. That's an agent movie about this guy, like who does multiple sports.
Yeah.
No.
Well, you only get one pick, so
one pick.
You're going with the best of times. What do you think?
I've not seen this movie. I'm gonna refrain.
Yeah.
But
Right.
so like
Yeah.
Moose,
Okay.
I think you can still watch it for free on YouTube with the ads. You know, it's not bad.
Yeah. But Chris,
I'm gonna go with Jerry Maguire. The movie is absolutely
No.
a football movie.
We're ranking best of times. We're
Oh,
still
sorry.
going through and
Best of times,
nominating.
I
ours.
haven't
No, it's
even
okay.
seen it.
Chris, I'm giving
Okay,
you
fair
Jerry
enough.
Maguire, by the way.
Okay, go for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, best of times. Yeah, I haven't seen it.
I've never even
Austin?
heard of it. So yeah, no, I've never heard of it or seen it. Yeah, but it does have Robin Williams and Kurt Russell in it. I'm looking at the thing.
Wow.
That's cool.
Right.
Yeah.
Because
Well,
like it's
interesting.
about like imagine this guy in high school drops the winning touchdown pass. So then like he actually like gets together with the quarterback played by Kurt Russell, and then they actually like have a makeup game to determine who the real winner was.
Okay. Nice.
Interesting.
Well, I've also never seen it, but it's like one of the only Robin Williams movies that I haven't seen because I've seen almost everything that he's done. So
Yeah.
this is one I gotta go
1986. Yeah,
check out. Yeah.
1986.
Yeah, and
But
plus, like I think you can still watch it on free on YouTube with.
But I think Jordan, it kind of goes scene category because Ross seems to be the only one who's seen it on this list. So
Oh yeah.
yeah.
Haven't seen it. Right.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
forgot
I
about
couldn't
that,
remember though.
Yeah.
I bought it at a Long's for $4.
There you go.
All right.
So Chris, I get the sense that you and that glorious beard will help me defend Jerry Maguire, so I'm going to give you that one.
All right.
I am going to take the movie Concussion,
Oh, okay. Concussion. There we go.
which may not be the most popular of football movies, but it is a very well done movie. And as I've kind of explained, I like the behind the scenes of things. I like to know how things work, but I also like to know how things don't work, like too many hits in the head. And you see these stories of these actual athletes who have suffered. I mean, Ross, you're a Chargers fan. I'm going to throw out Junior Seau, right?
Yes, I love it.
Yeah.
Yes, Junior was the best, man. I ran into Junior
tragic
one
end.
time at Knott's Berry Farm, him and his
I
family.
took
And he seemed like the happiest dude in the world. And I remember I was like, fucking Junior, what's up, dude?
I actually took a picture with him at his restaurant, in
Yes.
Mission Valley.
Cool. Yep. And so I feel like this is one of those movies that is an important movie to show the side effects of what sometimes can be a very ill-prepared game, right? And look, I played football. I got concussions. I remember having to run sprints because I got a concussion one time and couldn't see, and therefore missed the tackle. So I had to sprint after practice, and this was years before something like this had even come out or been discovered. So I actually feel like Concussion is a great movie. I feel like it didn't get the either praise or acclaim that it should have gotten. I think that this is an S movie because of the importance of this movie. Acting is top caliber, right? You have Will Smith,
That guy from Glee. The
guy from Glee,
Albert Brooks.
Albert
Brooks, man.
Alec Baldwin plays the head doctor for the NFL who knows this exists and guilt gets him, so he teams with Will Smith. And at the end, even after all is discovered, it's like, okay, dude, thanks for bringing it to our attention. So it's a very behind the scenes, very wary movie. So this movie isn't going to be my favorite football movie. I think it is an important football movie, though. I'm going to give it an S.
All right, Chris.
All right. Yeah. What do you think?
So I've never seen this movie, but now after hearing you talk about it, I really want to.
Yeah, watch it. It's great.
Yeah.
Yes, it is. I'll bring in my point on why it's great.
Yeah, Austin, what do you think?
Yeah, I would. I don't know if I wouldn't put it the top of S, but I think it deserves to be mentioned at least maybe at a number 10 slot or something like that. And I almost wonder, Moose, if I'm not a big conspiracy guy, but I almost wonder if the NFL kind of kicked this movie to the curb a little bit as far as some of the, maybe some of the people not seeing it. I don't know, because it's definitely a subject they don't like talking about. It's a subject that even
half of the movie is him being hunted by the NFL.
even I'm a wrestling guy, and even wrestling, there's been lawsuits against WWE, that got been thrown out, but like there's a case to be made, about these guys getting concussions and nobody doing anything about it. It's the same with the NFL. But yeah, it's really, really solid. Will Smith's accent is a little wonky throughout it, but he's doing his best. But the supporting cast is there, like you said, Alec Baldwin, Albert Brooks, David Morris is great. He's always great. It's really, really solid. It's well directed. I think it definitely. Again, I wouldn't put it at the top, like up there as a football movie with Rudy or Remember the Titans or anything like that. But yeah, I think it deserves to be up there in the conversation for sure. Yeah, I go with that. Jordan?
Well, yeah, and I think I can't actually really say much because I haven't seen the movie, so so yeah.
Okay.
Oh, you
I'll have to
are
pass, but
it's a good movie.
One that's like high on my list for whatever reason, like I went through like a little time period where I wasn't going to the movies as often as I normally do, and that was just during that time, so it just kind of passed by me, but it was definitely on my must-watch list for sure. But Ross, though, what do you think?
Oh, this movie's an S. I do not get scared of movies, but this one scene scared the shit out of me as a full-grown adult. Is the scene with the orange?
No, the pickle jar. I know exactly what you're talking about.
No. Remember?
Oh,
Remember
the pickle jar
when,
scene fucking scared me. Yeah, you're right. I get what you're saying.
Like, okay. Literally, like he compares a brain to an orange, right? And then like he literally like has it inside this thing. So then like he keeps on shaking it until the orange explodes. So yes. And then like he says that's what the CTE does to your body. So this movie is like definitely like an S. This movie is amazing. And now like have this like blip of the radar comeback for Luke Wilson as Roger Goodell.
Oh yeah. So I forgot that he even played that. Yeah.
Well, Moose, it's with 3 low S votes, it kind of squeaks into the S tier. So yeah, I think it'll kind of sit where it's at for right now, and it might just squeak in there. Yeah, we'll see where it ends up being in the show.
Go and watch this movie. Like,
go
watch this movie. It's great.
Well, Chris, are you going to talk about Jerry Maguire, or are you going to talk about something else? All right, let's talk Jerry Maguire. Let's talk about Jerry Maguire.
So.
No, it's on here.
Right there on the side, the last one on the top there.
Top right.
Oh yeah,
on the
top
corner. Top corner. There you go.
Right.
So, I love this movie. As you said, we're talking about the behind the scenes with football and what sort of happens. There's so many great lines and great moments. I love the relationship between Tom Cruise and furthermore with when you're seeing with their son. Those are just awesome moments. It's got amazing relationships in there. It's just all around it's got a lot of powerful moments, sad moments, happy moments. I feel like it's a movie that it's on TV, guaranteed I'm going to sit down and watch it. Absolutely. Definitely that movie belongs in S tier. Perfect spot for it.
Yeah. Austin, what do you think?
Man, I'm really conflicted on whether or not this is a football movie. Because I know that his main interaction as the agent is obviously with Cuba, who plays a football player, and he got the show me the money scene. Like, I get that. It's more of a football movie than Last Boy Scout. I'll say that. So maybe I'll just barely give it in. Okay. I'll give it to you. But anyways, I like Jerry Maguire. I don't overly love Jerry Maguire. I think the backstage stuff is done better in Draft Day, to be honest. But I would give it like a high A. I do like it. It just gets a little more bogged down in the romance stuff than the sports stuff, and I like the Draft Day kind of focuses more on the sports stuff. But I'll give it an A. I'll give it a solid A.
Yeah, I think that it's definitely a football movie because but just because it doesn't show a lot of on the field stuff doesn't mean that it's not still football. I mean, look at Draft Day. I mean, that's like pretty much all behind the scenes stuff, and you don't really see almost anything on the field. And it's definitely a football movie. So I would say for sure. And Jerry Maguire does so many quotable moments. Like like show me the money, or like you had me at hello. And then we also learned that the human head weighs only 8 pounds from Jonathan Lipnicki. So there's like all those lines, and like it's a really intense movie that like has some like super emotional moments. Also gets you like pumped up from just seeing behind the scenes stuff. Like when he's just like shouting in the phone, show me the money, and like shout it with me, show me the money, you know? So yeah, like I would say that's definitely in the S tier. I'd probably give it a lower S tier, like maybe below everything that's there. So might just squeak into that 10th spot for me, but yeah, I'll say S tier.
All right.
I don't know if this is a football movie, but I still do love the movie. But it's still a good movie, you know. Like I love Cameron Crowe, and then I love Drake Bell was hilarious in this movie. But still, you know, it's still a good movie. But I don't know if it's a football movie. But if we are, I would put it in the like highest of A, and then like Artie Lang was actually cut from this movie. But do you remember the little kid that cussed out Tom Cruise? Right, that was Drake Bell.
Okay, huh? I had no idea. Yeah,
but still, but you know, like I
would you rank it?
That and like remember, like he deals in multiple sports too. Remember, so it's not just a football movie.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah. But where would you rank it though?
He said A, I think, like high A.
Yeah,
A,
I believe. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. All right, sounds good. Yeah,
This is an S movie. It's a football movie. Come on. There are more football player cameos in this movie than I care to admit. And yeah, okay,
Yeah.
Cuba Gooding Jr. is Rod Tidwell. He's a decent wide receiver for the Arizona Cardinals. They didn't even make up professional sports teams in this movie. They actually provided a sports team in the Arizona Cardinals. Not a great
Miami
team at
Sharks.
the time. No Miami Sharks. Right, exactly. No Miami Sharks.
Right.
So Rod Tidwell played for the Arizona Cardinals. And the movie is really about 3 people. It's really about Rod Tidwell, Jerry Maguire, and Renee Zellweger, right? And it's about their paths. Rod Tidwell is the receiver that wants more acclaim but won't shut his mouth and produce on the field, right? His production does not outweigh his mouth. And at the end of the day, Tom Cruise is left with one client, and that client is a professional football player who plays for the Arizona Cardinals, who he develops a personal relationship with. And even there is a scene where Rod Tidwell is on a sports talk show, and he gets the contract offer from the Arizona Cardinals that, you know, is crazy millions of money. And you have like Tom Cruise is celebrating right there. And then Emmitt Smith and Troy Aikman walk up to him after that scene and are like, oh, hey, you know, I hear what you're doing with Rod Tidwell. So this is absolutely a football movie. Come on now. I would put this isn't the highest S, but Jerry Maguire deserves an S, and it's a good movie. I'm not a Cameron Crowe fan. I know, shocker. But this is a Cameron Crowe movie. I'm
not either, really.
And then it had like one of the most underrated actresses working in Hollywood right now, I think, too. Regina King.
Oh, Regina King, yeah. Rod Tidwell.
If you guys ever watch Watchmen, watch Watchmen and go see how good she's
amazing. Yeah. But yeah.
Chris is not a fan of Watchmen.
Right. Don't tell Chris.
All right, anyways, but we got 3 S's and 2 A's for Jerry Maguire, so it kind of sits right where it's at. Maybe squeaking into the S tier. Yeah, good job.
Yeah, right.
You got one. All right. Nicely done. Nicely done. All right.
So Austin,
well
you're
done,
up,
Mooch.
so.
The only other one I would talk about that I really enjoy as really super sports movie cliched as it is, I think it's just well enough to get into a high A, is We Are Marshall. I remember seeing this one in theaters. It's because it's a really interesting, albeit sad, true story about this team that like got wiped out in a plane crash in the 70s, which is really nuts when you think about it. And Matthew McConaughey playing this coach, having to like put this program back together. And it has all the cliches that a lot of these movies have. It's the underdogs that nobody buys into. You know, they have to scrape up, you know, whatever team they can get to. They get to the championship game. They have their winning season, yada, yada, yada. It's all this stuff. But it's really well done, and it's easily McGee's best movie that he's ever made as a director. From the director of Terminator Salvation and Charlie's Angels, yes. But it's a very level movie. It's well directed because he focuses on the script. He focuses on the actors. He lets McConaughey and Anthony Mackie and even guys like Matthew Fox do a really solid job. I think it's a really solid sports movie. I would not put it in the S tier because of kind of how cliched it is, but I would almost fight for like an honorable mention. I think it's like a high A. It's really well done for what it's going for. So I would argue for like a high A for We Are Marshall.
Yeah. Well, so We Are Marshall is a movie that I haven't seen for like a number of years, but it's one that I definitely want to visit. Because I remember when I first saw it that I loved it. Like I thought that was great.
I really liked it in the theater. I liked it a lot. It surprised me. Yeah.
And based on everything else we have on the list, I think I actually would give it an S tier. Like I'd probably put it at the bottom of the S tier, but even so, you got the two Matthews there. You got the Matthew Fox, Matthew McConaughey. So and yeah, like just hearing about the story, like it's just like a wild story that actually happened. Mm-hmm. But like you see some like fun cats pop up. You see like Ian McShane. You see David Stratham. Even Kate Mara. Yep. Yeah. So I'm gonna give it an S tier. So you're right at the bottom of S. So
all right,
Ross, what do you think?
Hey, I like this movie. I gotta watch it again, only because the marketing though botched this movie. Even look at the poster; it shows Matthew McConaughey front and center when he's really not the main character, but it's still a very well made movie. And then like anything with Robert Patrick automatically is gonna go into like enter the A category for me. I love Robert Patrick.
Is he in it?
Yes, he is. You know where he plays?
Oh, okay.
He plays the coach who dies in the beginning.
Okay. Yeah,
that's what it is. I didn't remember him being. I haven't seen it in a while, but not since the theater. Yeah. I meant to try to rewatch. I just didn't have time.
Matthew Fox actually like the true main character in the movie.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Moose, have you seen We Are Marshall? If so,
I have. Good movie. Very, very sad. Story itself is very sad. I agree with you. It's very cookie cutter, but it's still the story itself, the actors. I always root for Matthew Fox. I would give this probably A- to an A.
Okay.
Yeah. Sounds good.
Chris, have you seen it?
It's a great cast and solid story. I agree with you, Jordan. I need to rewatch it, but I do remember seeing it in theaters and loving it. Absolutely an S tier movie.
Okay.
Yeah. So
two S's and three A's. It goes pretty up into the A tier, at least a little higher into the A tier. It's looking at my chart.
Top of A maybe. Yeah.
It's got higher than Little Giants and around the same as The Longest Yard. So yeah, somewhere around there.
Yeah.
It might get bumped up or honorable mentions. Yeah. All right. Jordan, do you have a final shout out before we throw it to the Hail Marys, which is appropriate for this football show for once?
Yes.
Well, I was trying to see if there's anything that would put in the like S tier, A tier. Like the only thing that I can really think of is like maybe go with Leatherheads. Like I think that like that movie was a lot of fun. Like I kind of like just seeing them like a movie about football kind of set in the 20s where they're doing like the old timey talk, like Golly G Williker, all this stuff. You think I'm gonna make it in the pros, like all this stuff. So just but I definitely probably wouldn't put it in the S tier, but I give it a solid A though. Like out of everything that's left, I don't know really anything I would rank too much higher. So I'd give it an A, but probably like a low A. So like I just put it at the bottom of A tier. So there's a fun cast too. So yeah, we'll see what you guys think. Ross, what do you think?
I haven't seen it because I heard it was actually like awful, so I never watched it. I was looking forward to it, but then I heard that's pretty bad.
Yeah. Well, Moose, what do you think?
I really, really wanted this movie to be better. I love John Krasinski because my favorite TV show still to this day is The Office. I love George Clooney. I really wanted this movie to be better. The on-field football stuff is fun. The weird romantic stuff is kind of weird. I don't know. I'd probably give this movie like a low B to high C.
Yeah. Chris, what do you think?
I agree. It has a great cast. I've heard mixed things about it, but it didn't really do anything for me. I agree with you. I would say exactly where you said, Moose.
So high B, a high C, low B, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, Austin.
Yeah, I go like a C plus. It's a silly movie. It's okay for what it is. If it's on a Sunday afternoon or you got it streaming in the background, it's fun. You glance at it every now and then. It's too long for what it is. It's like 2 hours and it needs to be like a tight 90 minutes for what it is. You know, like a movie like that should be a tight 90 minutes. Like some of these movies are long, but they deserve it. But yeah, it's fine. But yeah, C plus. You know, high C. Yeah. So
yeah, literally,
Clooney directed this one. Yeah.
Yeah, he directed.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So probably overall, maybe like a low B is where it ends up, probably.
Yeah, somewhere around there. Yeah, that's fine.
That's right.
All right. So we have a new way of doing the Hail Marys. I don't remember if we did this last time or not on the baseball show, but I think we did. But what we do is we're just going to go around the horn, and we're not going to do a full-on thing. We're just going to say if you think there's any other movies that deserve an S or an A shout-out, name them off, and then I'll jot them down here. And if we have a lot of crossover, if we have at least a couple that cross over with several people, we'll go back and fully get quick rankings on all of those. Does that make sense? So any ones you think are just quickly, so you're not actually doing we're not doing a full round every time somebody mentions something. We're just mentioning ones you think maybe deserve either like an A or an S. So, and we'll just go around the horn of that, and we'll come back around to the ones that got mentions. Fair enough?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right. So Ross, is there anything else on the list you think is like a S or an A?
Actually, I'm gonna go with Varsity Blues. It's because we would not have Friday Night Lights without Varsity Blues, and the cheesiness is just enough to get it to get it to an S tier for me. The cheesiness alone, I don't want your life. You know, it's still though. You know, like I really do actually like this movie. You know.
Okay. Was it just that one, or because you can name one or two, or even three.
I would put like
even four.
Heaven Can Wait as an A. Is because of I do like the movie a lot more. The remake was just trash. You know.
Yeah.
And then maybe Lucas, but I don't know if I consider Lucas a football movie, so that's why too.
Okay. All right, Moose, is there any ones on the list you want to give a shout out to? Do you think maybe deserve a full
I think
on?
Lucas is more of a football movie than Heaven Can Wait, but that's a debate for another time. I think The Blind Side. I think The Blind Side is a high A.
He will. Musso, think about it, though. He wins the Super Bowl as a starting quarterback.
Yeah.
At the beginning of the movie, and then football is never a factor in the movie.
Yeah. True.
So
anything else?
I'll say The Blind Side is an A movie. That's a fun one. Two for the Money is not a football movie.
No, it's not.
So I'll stick with The Blind Side being an A movie.
Two for the Money though has one great scene, and it shows how much of a scumbag Al Pacino's character is.
It's like a 0.5% of them.
Anybody that fake their own heart attack is a true scumbag.
All right.
Yeah.
Chris, any last minute ones you want to shout out?
Blind Side at S.
Okay.
Yeah. And Varsity Blues at S.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. We'll get to the specific rankings if we come back around and rank them all. I'll jot them down as we go there. As far as me, I would mention Blindside getting some love, although I'm not as high on it. And sure, we can vote on Varsity Blues too. I'll go with those two. Jordan.
Yeah. So I would rank The Blind Side as an A probably, and then also Facing the Giants too. Like it has one of the best single scenes in a movie. So I would say a solid A for that. And then I don't know if there's really anything else I would really vote for anything. So I'm just gonna go with those two.
Okay. Well, the two I've got two that got a lot of crossover votes, so we'll go around the horn very quickly. Not in any super great length, but we'll get votes for Varsity Blues, starting with Ross.
I would put this as maybe an A, only because I don't think it's the best movie, but the precedent it's set for the other movies.
Yeah.
Moose.
Varsity Blues is terrible. I'm sorry. Varsity Blues gets like a low C, maybe a D for me. The movie has so little to do with football. John Voight's character, maybe like the biggest link to football. And you can't, I mean, it is a young, possibly up and coming cast, but horribly acted. Don't like it. Didn't like it when I saw it in theaters in high school. And then I think what was the other one that I was?
Well, we'll get to that. We'll get to that one in a minute. I'm going around for Varsity Blues right now.
Varsity Blues, I'm going to give a D.
Yeah. Okay. Chris, Varsity Blues.
I really like Varsity Blues. S.
All right. Yeah. Austin.
I saw Varsity Blues for the first time about a year ago. I like the parody stuff and Not Another Teen Movie better. I'll give Varsity Blues a C.
Yeah, and for me, Varsity Blues it was a fine movie. I don't think it's great. I don't think it's bad. So I'm going to give it a C.
All right. So. Well, it can get on the chart, but it's only going to go in about the B or C category. So it's not going to make A. We're not even going to worry about it. Okay, and the other one was The Blind Side. We'll go around the horn on The Blind Side. So we'll start with Ross for The Blind Side.
I would put this at maybe a C, only because it is kind of cheesy nowadays, and then I know I cannot ignore the real events about how the guy was actually pissed off at the movie. So so I try not to. So maybe B or C.
Yeah.
Okay.
Moose, what do you think?
I mean, in movie entertainment, it's an A. Sandra Bullock was solid in this movie. I enjoy the story, whether it supported in real life or not, but I'll give it an A. It's not a superior movie, but it's good.
Yeah.
All right, Chris, Blindside.
Chris,
I know about the real events, but I have to separate myself from those. And this is a great movie. I loved it, and I've seen it since a couple times, and I think it's solid. S.
Yeah. Austin, what would you give?
I go like a mid A on Blindside. I liked it, but I didn't think it was absolutely incredible or amazing. But I thought it was good. Good performances. Solid stuff. A. Give it A. Jordan.
Yeah. I give it an A, but I'd rank it low though. I give it like an A minus. So I don't think I would put it in the honorable mentions by myself, but I still put it up there in the A tier though. So
okay, I think it's got enough to make it at least up on the chart into the A's, but maybe like in the mid A's. And then we'll see if it ends up in honorable mentions or not. But for right now, that'll do it, and we'll shuffle some things around and see where we get. Right now, we've got 8 in the S tier, so we were going to bump up 2 from the A. So which 2 do we bump up?
Little Giants.
We Are Marshall.
We Are Marshall.
We Are Marshall. Yeah. And
I'd even be okay with Longest Yard. I'd be okay with Longest Yard getting bumped up in there.
Yeah,
to be honest.
let's do Longest Yard.
It's not a good 70s, good 70s football.
Yes, and plus
I said Longest Yard or The Express, maybe.
The first football movie though to ever have a Hall of Famer in it too. Ray Nitschke's in it. The best, one of the best middle linebackers of all time.
I think if we do that, and then you literally have 3 nice honorable mentions right there with Little Giants and Express and Blindside.
Yeah,
so,
perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, is there anything we shuffle around in the S tier? I mean, remember the Titans are Rudy. What's number 1? Should we go around the horn and say what's number 1 out of Rudy and Remember the Titans?
We do that.
Let's do that real quick. Ross, Rudy, or Titans?
Rudy.
All right, Moose.
Titans.
Chris. I'll go Rudy. Jordan.
And I will also go Rudy, I think. Yeah. So
all right, 3-2. So Titans goes number 2.
Rudy it is.
Rudy bumps.
Yeah.
Draft day had a clean sweep, so I think draft day stays where it is.
Yeah. I'm actually happy with the rest of it, except for maybe Waterboy could get bumped up, in my opinion. But
you guys should sometime talk to Roka about Rudy, because like he said,
we know Roka.
Like, he said like Rudy was a little shit. He said, who should not deserve the glory that.
I'd maybe flip flop Invincible and the replacements.
According to my chart, those should be flopped. Yeah, Invincible goes above the replacements.
I'm fine with
and
that.
And then let me see what did Waterboy had. Waterboy had the same as Invincible, so it goes right behind Invincible. Yeah, both the replacements.
I'd say that's it right there, and I think it's perfect.
And then I think that's perfect. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
that works. All right. Good job, everybody. We got it. We're gonna break this thing down. All right.
Nice.
Good job. All right, Jordan, you want to break it down?
Jordan, though, like, how was the Tom Cruise football movie? It is not like always been on my list, but I've never seen it. How was it?
Oh, you mean All the Right Moves?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I watched it for the first time. And surprisingly, that movie was really hard to find. So, like, I looked on every streaming service. I couldn't find it anywhere. So I actually had to torrent it. Like, I hate to, like, do that. But, like, it's the only way I could find this thing. And, like, it was fine. Like, it was like a solid, like B, probably. Like, so.
All right.
Yeah.
But the movie, though, like, Everybody's All American is actually, like, underrated. It's because, like, it has, like, John Goodman, Dennis Quaid, Jessica Lange.
Letter Moose. Thank you.
Hey, guys, thanks for having me on. It was great.
Thank you, Moose. Thanks for coming back, man. We'll have you back for another show. Thanks. That's right. You're on the TV show on Tuesday, right? So we'll see you on Tuesday.
Don't steal the office from me, fuckers.
No. right.
Don't worry. It'll be on the list.
Thank you again for having me on. Like, you guys are awesome. Have a good night.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
Have a good night. But yeah.
All right. Well, Jordan, should I break it down before we throw the tier chart in the background? And we'll wrap this thing up.
You do the honors.
I gotta go in like 5 minutes, guys. Okay.
I know we're wrapping it up. I'm gonna break it down. Okay. All right. So our top 10 for this evening, top football movies. And number 1, we've got The Inspirational Story of Rudy. Number 2, we've got Denzel Washington and Remember the Titans. Number 3, Kevin Costner and Draft Day. Number 4, we got Disney's Invincible. Number 5, Adam Sandler as the Water Boy. Number 6, we've got The Replacements. Number 7, we've got the behind-the-scenes story of Concussion. Number 8, we've got Tom Cruise and Jerry Maguire. Number 9, the true story of We Are Marshall. Number 10, Burt Reynolds in the original Longest Yard. And our 3 honorable mentions for the evening are The Kids' favorite, Little Giants. We've got The Express and Sandra Bullock in The Blind Side.
All right, awesome.
All right, excellent. Good job.
Yeah, so
sounds good.
A lot of fun, guys. So yeah, this will kind of get us pumped up for the start of the NFL season. So that starts this weekend, I think, right? Is that?
There's a movie coming out though that I do want to see about the Rams that's coming out around Christmas time. And
what's that?
On the poster.
What is it?
I forget who's playing. Somebody's playing Kurt Warner. It's some Kurt Warner.
Oh, really?
Kurt Warner. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Zachary Levi.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is though.
I've got a lot of animosity against Kurt Warner because back in 1999, when we used to be a Titans fan back in the day, and they're in the Super Bowl, and the Rams beat the Titans, and on the very last play, the guy like reaching for the end zone, the Titans guy, he had his arm out, but he just couldn't quite get it in to win it, and so they didn't win it. And like, I always have a thing against Kurt Warner after that.
Well, Jordan, it's called American Underdog, the Kurt Warner story. It's coming out soon.
Okay, well,
there you go.
I might go see it. Maybe I haven't misjudged, so you check it out, right? But
all right,
but
wrap things up here.
Yeah, so that'll do it for us here on Tier Ranker Fight. So we'll go around the horn. If you have anything you want to promote, anything like, we're going to tell us where we can find you. So we'll start with Ross. Where can we find you?
Just find me at Ross Bristow. You guys will find me, and then if you guys actually ask me, I'll accept you.
Yeah. All right, cool. Yeah. Chris, do you have anything you want to promote, or where can we find you?
Not really anything I want to promote, but. I mean, you want to just put the ticker up, though, for the fast.
Yeah.
There you go. That'd be much faster. No, just put up all of Chris's info down there and all that.
Yeah.
Twitter at writer_84 and Instagram at cscott1128. And email us those questions moviehero2121@gmail.com.
Nice. Yeah, sounds good, and it's great to have you back after a little bit. I know you're working a little crazy sometimes, So whenever
you and Jordan
happy to have you.
Jordan were both moving, so you had some moving things you had to take care of, and some things you had to sort out, and you got to get your internet up and running, right, Chris? So I mean,
yes,
it is.
Yeah. Those things happen.
Thankfully, I was managed to get that up and running before we did this, so it was nice.
There you go. Excellent.
Yeah, nice.
Well, no freezing tonight. You came in loud and clear once we got your headphones all situated.
Yeah.
Sounded good. All right.
Yeah, you didn't have to go off a hot spot or anything like that.
Right.
Nice,
Definitely.
But Austin, do you have anything
well, as far as these sports series goes, I think we're going to put off the basketball one till December, right? Because basketball season starts in December. Am I right, Jordan? I mean, you're the basketball guy.
No, basketball season actually starts in October, so you might end up doing it sooner than you.
Wait, though,
really?
are you sure?
Yeah.
Because remember
pretty sure.
Last year it started around Christmas. Remember?
Let me look it up.
NBA season start 2021. Okay. Preseason starts.
Starts on October 19th. So yeah.
Okay.
Starts October 19th.
So are we gonna do basketball next, or are we gonna scoot on to combat sports? Or okay.
Or
so
maybe
basketball.
When are we gonna do? Who are running or the
winter? Well, when winter rolls around, we'll do winter sports. It's not quite winter yet. I think we'll save that for maybe December or January, something like that, and we'll do the winter sports. But we'll get basketball and combat sports out of the way first.
Yeah, those will be the next two. So probably like basketball October, combat sports for November, probably December or January we'll do winter sports. So.
Hit the winter sports when it gets cold outside. Yeah, when everybody's feeling nice and crisp and cool, and we'll talk about that kind of stuff. But
are we gonna do like every single Rocky movie, or are we just gonna do Rocky?
They'll probably all be up for consideration in there. They'll probably be in there. I mean, at least on the chart.
I would only put one Rocky movie as an F, and that's Rocky 5.
Well, a lot of people. We'll talk about that when we get to it. We'll talk about that when we get there. But they'll probably be at least up for consideration. But that'll be a lot of fun. And like I said, Tuesday I'm around the network, but Tuesday we'll be doing the Movie Heroes battle, or Tournament Fights battles. Excuse me, I'll get it right, Jordan. I promise. Yeah. On Tuesday, which I'll be broadcasting from Orlando, so I won't be at home base for that one, but I'll still be here. And I believe we're doing time travel movies for next Friday, and I'm sure you can fill us in on who the guests are going to be on that one, Jordan, for sure.
Yeah. So next week we have the Movie Fights battles that we're going to have Moose back on the show, and they're also going to have Jen Kemp on with us, and so that should be a fun episode. And then. And also I just confirmed our fifth person. I haven't told you guys yet, but we're gonna have Steven Shepard back. He's not gonna be able to actually hear anything, but he's gonna be what we like to call the spectator. We have a fifth person that just gets to judge all of us and all of our picks. So he's gonna be doing that, so we can keep it to 5.
So terrible our picks are.
Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly. I know he's a big TV guy, but then on Friday we have best time travel movies, so we're actually going to have both halves of Late to the Party. So we're going to have Vanessa and
I love Late to the Party
and Robert on. Yep, and then we're going to have Jen Kemp coming back again, and then also Andres Gallegos is going to be joining us. So and they all seem pretty excited
for time travel. Yeah, it's a good topic.
Yeah, and then in the following week, just to kind of give just like a quick overview. We're going to have best 70s horror movies coming up for October. And then we're going to do something kind of fun and to just kind of mix it up. And it's one that we did early on for tier ranker fights. We're going to throw it over into tournament fights. We're going to do best chain restaurants just to do something kind of off the beaten path. So like pretty much every fast food.
Chris, you got to be on for that one, man. We got to talk some restaurants.
Well, so obviously you guys already have your stacked cast for this Friday. I was going to say I'm off. So on Thursday and Friday, I'm working 6 a.m. to 2.
Okay.
We got to have you on for the restaurant one. We're going to talk some fast food.
I wish I could be there for the fast food one, because I cannot think about like the chain restaurants without JB Smoove, because he said when I saw the Giants beat the Patriots, he says he said like I was at a bar. He said and then like I forget which one he says because like Applebee's, Chili's, and Fridays are the same damn place.
Yeah, right. And they're also the same place. Yeah, right. It'll be a fun one to talk about, but but then also you can find us with the poll with our top 10 and our 3 honorable mention will be going up tomorrow in the Schmodown Friends and Family group over on Facebook. And then just give us a like, guys. Just like, subscribe, hit the little bell.
Please
because
like, subscribe. Yeah.
We're almost to 100. We're almost there. We're like this close. Get us to 100.
Right.
This close.
It really helps us a lot, guys. But just having the like notification bell click though, because usually try to film on like Tuesdays and Fridays if we can. But every once in a while we have to switch things up just a little bit. We have some of those monthly shows that you might want to be informed of, and you might end up missing something that you want to see. So
like our Seinfeld show, we might try to do this weekend, Jordan. We're going to try to do it on Sunday, right? Yeah,
for sure. We're going to try to do it Sunday. So if you're a Seinfeld fan, you can watch for that. That'll be popping up Sunday. So probably like mid-afternoon, something like that. But this has been a lot of fun, guys. So yeah, we'll leave it at that. So
absolutely,
but for Moose, for Ross, for Chris, for Austin, I've been Jordan Movie Hero Anderson, and we will catch you guys next time.